All right, we're back. Puppy 2. We're doing the Puppy 2. I'll give everyone a minute or two to hop on in here and then get in the lobby together. Pretty late tonight, so we should be good to hop in this one together on the first try. So give Mouth a second to get in here, and then everyone else who wants to hop on in, they are welcome to hop in.
Say somebody put a gun to your head. Said, do you want your baby to be lighter or darker? What would you choose?
Why is someone holding a gun to my head and asking what shade I would prefer my son to be?
I don't know. So
Why is somebody putting a gun to her head?
He wants to find out what your preference is. So you're walking down the street with Will, and he snatches you into the backseat of the car, and now he's got a gun to your head. You want a lighter or darker baby? What shade? What shade?
Get away from me.
What color is the guy holding the gun?
He's mocha, right down the middle.
Right down the middle.
50-50. You want it lighter or darker?
I would say on the lighter side.
All right. Lighter side. I wouldn't care. Personally. All right. We're going to wait for Mouth to get in here. He's got to hurry, though. I was hoping to make this a short night, but I am a man of the people, as you guys know. So we're doing the Puppy 2. I'm going to click on it, and we're not going to sign up yet. Just hold your horses. Wait for Mouth to get in here. And whoever else wants to funnel in, make sure you do 20 seconds per pick. You're not getting a slow draft. Mouth is ready. Hetzer's ready. Let's get in this, guys. I'm joining. Let's enter. Here we go. Entering. Fuck. I think it's full. I can't back out. Unreal, dude. Unreal. Fucking Mouth didn't get in. That is unfortunate. Unfortunate. I see that Dakota's in here. No, Mouth didn't get in. That's shitty. The one guy that pays for the draft wasn't going to do one, doesn't get in. Sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles, guys. Damn it. My bad, Mouth. I'm sorry. We have Derek is in here, Hetzer's in here, Dakota's in here. And that's it. I am the opposite side of the board to you guys, so I'm kind of happy with that. Hetzer always gets the number one pick every single time. Let me take this. I got to take my logo off here. There. Yeah, when you keep on getting the number one pick, you got to mix it up a little bit, brother. It's a good problem to have, man. First world problems. There goes Chase. So, Dakota, how do you not have a shield? I'm surprised. I know you've won some of these tournaments. Maybe you had a different name back then or something. Hetcher doesn't have one. Derek doesn't have one. Doesn't mean you're good to have a shield. This means you've played a lot. I am up, and we're going to take Christian McCaffrey at 9. No, I'm going to take St. Brown over McCaffrey, and then I like the running backs better in the second round. The shield is next to your name. You can see it. It's experienced user, I guess, is what it means. We're at 16. And we'll see. Taking a running back regardless. Kenneth Walker goes quite early. I was hoping to get him at the 2-4. There goes Hampton. So we're going to take, you know what? Let's take Chase Brown over A-Chain. You know, it gives me a chance to take Joe Burrow. I can make this a Joe Burrow team. At pick 57, seems very logical for Joe Burrow. 2 picks after ADP. I like that one. Sorry, Mouth, dude. That really fucking bums me out. Like I said, I was not trying to draft tonight, but you funded the operation, and of course, everybody gets in but you. So I apologize about that, dude. Really slow night on the show. It was a damn shame because that was a hell of a segment. Nick O is unreal, man. One of the best in the business, Nick O. So happy to have him back. He took last year off. He was my football guy for 2 full years. Even he was the full-time guy and Storey was kind of the part-time guy. And then Nico is a hell of a guy. He's got a badass job with Boeing. He's got 2 daughters. He's the fucking best father I've ever met. And got a lot going on. So I understand why he didn't take a year off just from the show. He only did 1 league last year, his home league he commissions that we've been in since 2004. So he stepped back from football in general. He's still watched, obviously. He's a giant Niners fan. So much love to Nick O, and just super happy to have him back because he is beyond just knowing ball. He is just a great dude and just well-spoken dude, knows football. One of the biggest Niners fans, one of the biggest fans of his own team, I should say, that I know, diehard since he was a child. But he is very fair about his team. He's not a homer. I do love that one. Believe it or not, he doesn't. I mean, he has a pretty nice house. He does well for himself, but like I feel like his job is much more important than what he gets paid. I don't know what his salary is. Wouldn't ask somebody that, but he is a super smart guy, super smart dude. Very jealous of Nico. Just he's just like he is on the show in person. Just a good vibes type dude that love to be around and proud to say he's my friend. Honestly, I don't know what he's doing messing around with me, to be honest. We're on DraftKings, Keith. We are up in 5 picks. We have a lot of flexibility here. Oh, this is Underdog. Did I say DraftKings? I'm out of it tonight, guys. Got a couple good guys I like here. Let's see. Get him in the next round. All right, up in 2 picks. We have 2 guys in the queue. All the running backs are gone. Jesus, dude. I don't love that. I don't love that all the running backs are gone. But we can go ahead and get a value on one of these guys. Olave. We're going to take Zay Flowers. So I have a Lamar option. I have some pretty good options here. Some good offenses to invest in. Ravens, Bengals, and Lions. I do dig that. There goes Ladd McConkey. Really early on Ladd McConkey. That is just gross. Josh Jacobs is available. And there goes T. Higgins. Oh, is this a spot for Neighbors? I think this might be a spot for Neighbors in this tournament. I feel like that's probably where I'd rank him, 40th overall. And I think I'm going to do it. I want to shoot for upside, right? And I hate doing it, but this is, in a giant tournament like this, maybe there's a chance Neighbors comes back early. I don't think he does. Maybe he starts the year, but I don't know how much farther he could fall than pick 41. Josh Jacobs also would have been a good pick there. But let's cross our fingers there. Not a fan of that pick, but I would have taken T. Higgins or Tet McMillan or Garrett Wilson over Neighbors, but once they were already all gone, got to pivot. Not a fan of the running back room, that's for sure. But we have a couple options here. Take both of these fellas. There goes J-Mo. So we're going to be fighting it out for Jared Goff. Waddle off the board. Nice pick with David Montgomery. That is my boy. I love me some David Montgomery. Keith, by the way, if you're in here, I think you are. I'm going to send your gear out here in a day or two. So be expecting a hat and a shirt coming your way this week or possibly early next week. Usually it gets there in 3 days. So I just got to get the shipping stuff, and you'll have your shit. Appreciate you, man. This guy's still available. Wow. Loveland is still there. I got to start looking at running back. There goes Hendy. There goes Brian Thomas. Dakota is building a Bukkake crew, guys. He's got JSN, Drake London, Jamison Williams, and Brian Thomas. Super nice right there. There goes Colson Loveland. Fell past his ADP. I was considering him if he fell back to me at the 5'9". Man, we might do something weird here. We might do this. We'll see who he takes. We're going to take Lamar. If it lets me take him. There we go. And then, man, if I had T. Higgins, I would consider, damn it. Now running back is just disgusting. I don't want any of these guys. I kind of want Joe Burrow, but I don't really see the upside here. We will take, I know who I'm taking. For sure, if this dude's available. He is mine. There goes Tyler Warren. Pretty nice pick there. And this dude's got 3 running backs that's going right now. So I don't think he's going to go running back. There's really no one to take. Price is falling, guys. His ADP is 59. We are at pick 63. Takes Parker Washington over Marvin Harrison. What a joke. Why would anyone take Parker Washington over Marvin Harrison in a half PPR? It's mind-blowing stuff, guys. And I love me some Parker Washington, but not there. No, thank you. Yeah, Mal, send your squad over. We'll do draft grades after this. Blake is drafting on DraftKings and watching the last game of the World Cup. Said it's been a crazy day. Joe Burrow is still on the board. The Jamar Chase team could get Joe Burrow at a crazy value. We'll see if Dakota takes him. I don't think he will. He's going to go running back here. No, he's not, because there's no running back to take. It's pretty good value for Joe Burrow in a vacuum. Yeah, why not take him, man? Pick 69. Love that. This guy's pissed. 1 pick away from making that stacky stack, the ultimate stacky stack. We would only take these guys. We need a running back really bad. But I hate this range of running back. I really fucking hate it. So, okay. Where is, let's see, 107. Okay. Got a chance here. Caleb is still available. Herbert's still available. Lawrence is still available. Some quarterbacks on the board. The running backs are just disgusting right now. God, this range is rough, dude. Chuba, Jalen Warren, Tony Pollard, RJ Harvey, Rico Dowdle. Chuba's smart with your build, only having Travis Etienne, so I like that pick, Dakota. I hate pushing running back this much in a half PPR. I really do. But having Lamar allows me to make this a 2-quarterback team, and I will just stack running backs later because I don't like reaching on any of these dudes. Man, this is gross. This is really, really gross. Dude, I can't take RJ Harvey. No fucking way. Won't do it. I could take Rico. You know what? I'm going to take Rico. Not a fan of Rico this year, but similar to Dakota's Chuba pick, like I need somebody, and I probably need another running back here with this next pick just to make this team more balanced. And we do have an option for a tight end as well that I like. We'll see. I'd have to reach on Sam Laporta a couple picks. I have 88. Sam Laporta's ADP is 97. No way I'm getting him coming back, and I would probably going to target Jared Goff here coming up. Now, I know Dakota might as well, but he already has Joe Burrow. He has Jameson Williams. He has other stacking options. He might take Trevor Lawrence as well if he is still there. Is Trevor Lawrence still there? Yes, he is. So we'll see. I have some options. 2 running backs I love and a tight end that I love. So should get one of them. Benungai, Blake Corum, or Sam Laporta here with this next pick. I have 2 running backs, Chase Brown and Rico Dowdle. There goes Brock Purdy. This guy has no correlation with Brock Purdy, and he doesn't have Mike Evans or kind of a weird pick. Let's take – man, I want to take Laporta, but I have to take Kyle Monungai. I need the running back insurance here because I like my receivers a lot. I have Lamar stacked with Zay Flowers. So we'll take Monungai, kind of solidify that running back room a little bit with some touchdown scorers. And there's no way Sam Laporta gets back to me. Really don't think so. Slight chance, but doubt it. A couple other tight ends I do like, and still some receivers I like. Go. All right, any of these running backs. Trevor Lawrence is going to make it all the way back to Dakota, and that'll be really nice for you, dude. Stack up your Brian Thomas. Get 2. He loves Trevor Lawrence this year, so this is Trevor Lawrence for sure. There he is, short-haired Trevor Lawrence off the board. And he has done at quarterback most likely. Xavier Worthy, a little early, but love that pick. Jackson Dart off the board. Quarterbacks are going, guys. We are now ahead of board on quarterbacks being drafted, so there's be some value at other positions. I need the running back value. Also, a couple nice tight end values here. I want to go that route. First Gibbs share for Blake. It's a great feeling. I know Dakota loves Rico Dowdle. I mean, I love the player. I just don't love the situation. And then there goes Sam Laporta. You son of a bitch. Nice pick. Figured he wasn't going to make it back to me. It's a pipe dream. If I had taken Laporta there, then my running back 3 would be a little bit more questionable. And here's the thing. I can take a running back 4 here because I'm sitting with Chase Brown, Rico Dowdle, and Kyle Monungai. That is not great. Not great. Okay, this guy's got Warren. There's no way the tight end makes it back to me, but shit. So let's take, you know what? I'm going to take Jonathan Brooks. Keep on loading up this backfield. And as much as I want to take a tight end here, I'll take Kyle Pitts if he falls back. There goes Kyle Pitts. That's no big deal because I have some backup plans here. And it is going to be, there goes Kyler Murray. Josh Allen team should not. We need Jared Goff to make it back to us here. That is what we need. The Brock Purdy team should not take him. He has 2. This guy's got Josh Allen. He should fade quarterback here. Interesting start. He goes Josh Allen the 3rd, James Cook, Barkley, and then all these receivers. So I do like what he's doing there. We'll see if he snipes a quarterback. He takes Jordan Love, which he has Jaden Reed and Matthew Golden. So that's pretty nice. Pretty nice stack there. We're up in one pick. This is pretty easy here. All right. This dude already took Herbert with McConkey, so he seems like he's going to stack, so he should not take Jared Goff. He takes Matt Stafford. That's a good pick. We're going to take Jared Goff, and we're done at quarterback now with Lamar and Jared Goff. Both of them stacked. Lamar with Zay Flowers and Jared Goff with St. Brown. Working out pretty nicely so far. I got to backstack a little bit, and this is these two guys are pretty easy to backstack with, which I do like about both of them. So that option, let's see. No one else really at wide receiver. Tesla late. So we have a pretty balanced squad here. I'm not hating the team. We'll go through the roster real quick. I have the 9th pick. We had St. Brown, Zay Flowers, Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison at receiver, with Chase Brown, Rico Dowdle, Kyle Monangai, and Jonathan Brooks, Jared Goff, and Lamar Jackson at quarterback. No tight end yet. So Dakota just takes back-to-back tight ends there with Laporta and Kittle. He'll probably take Tungus late, is my guess. Be done at tight ends. There goes C-Rod, Chris Rodriguez. Feel like he's a pretty nice value there at the 10-10. Aaron Jones, Tyrone Tracy. Running backs are getting real thin. I'm glad I grabbed 4. Really glad I grabbed 4 when I did. Tyler Shuck still available. There goes Isaiah Likely. There goes Jake Ferguson. Jesus. Dude. Oh, Mark, come on, man. No. Why did this guy take Mark Andrews, you son of a bitch? God damn it. That is not good. That is not was my plan. I figure I would get him an ADP, right? That was ahead of ADP where this guy took him. Not a fan of that pick. That really screws me over, man.
It's really unfair. It's my team. It's my quarterback. And if you guys do that, man, it's unfair. We lost as a team.
I have a 2-4-4 build right now. I guess I'm punting tight ends. So we'll take Wan'Dale Robinson, 13 picks after ADP. Not a great best ball pick, but kind of necessary for my team because I have Malik Neighbors. So I need some guys that are going to contribute early. I feel like he'll be a nice security blanket for Cam Ward while Carnell Tate gets his feet wet. And we'll take another receiver if we have to. I think this actually is a better option at running back, but this is a reach with Isaiah Pacheco. But I'll take either of these guys, Pacheco or this dude. So whoever falls back, this guy's got 2 running backs that's on the board right now. He started off running back, so I'm thinking he's going to take one right here. He'll probably take Woody Marks, is my guess. No, he takes Higgins. All right. So we have a couple options I love. There is no way this dude is falling back that I have in my queue. Big decision to make. No tight end I really like here. We're going to keep on pushing tight end. So running back is the weaker of the 2 rooms. So we're going to take Pacheco ahead of ADP. Mostly because the correlation, I know he's a running back, but the correlation with Jared Goff, just give me another Lions player. And the running back room came together pretty nicely. So we waited a while. We took Chase Brown, and we have Dowdle, Monangai, Jonathan Brooks, and Isaiah Pacheco. Not a bad room. Receiver room now needs some work because St. Brown, Zay Flowers, Neighbors, Marvin Harrison, and Wan'Dale Robinson. So we actually have 5 of both running backs and receivers. No tight ends yet, but I'm going to get some value. This has to be a 3 tight end team. It's only going to be a 2 quarterback team. With these 18-round drafts on Underdog, you cannot go 3 onesies. You can't have 3 quarterbacks and 3 tight ends. That is just not enough skill players there. You got to make your choice. Whatever you spend more draft capital on, if you go Brock Bowers, if you go Trey McBride, if you go Colson Loveland, you have to pretty much make that a 2 tight end build. If you go Lamar Jackson or, Daniels, any of those 6-round guys, Hurts, May, Burrow, especially Josh Allen, it's got to be a 2 quarterback build. And then you take 3 tight ends if you wait at tight end. When you go 3 at both, that literally is 6 of your 18. That's a third of your roster for onesies. And I know tight ends can play in the flex. I understand that. But do we really prefer a tight end in the flex? I don't. So that is a big roster construction thing I live by. So this is definitely a 3 tight end team. 4 tight end teams, you can do that in Superflex because there's 20 rounds. You could not rock 4 tight ends in an 18-round draft. That is just way too much you're giving up there. Who took Shaheed? Fucking Dakota took Shaheed. Nice pick, man. That was who I was going to take instead of Pacheco. I figured he wouldn't get back to me. That is fine. And we have to take a tight end here. Jesus, it gets gross fast, guys. Really gross fast. So can take this guy, but man, I got to keep on pushing fucking tight end. This is just terrible. We're going to take Zach Charbonnet and end the running back room at 6. Yeah, we're going to end the running back room at 6. Kind of sucks. Charbonnet and Brooks, not a good pairing because Brooks is going to get eased into action and Charbonnet is probably missing the first few weeks at minimum. But if this team can just make it in, Charbonnet is nice for the fantasy playoffs. Jonathan Brooks should work his way into a bigger role. And then we have to figure out tight end and wide receiver late. We'll see who's here. All right, I'll be able to get my guy. Man, I really pushed tight end too far, though, because I don't have one yet. And there goes Juwan Johnson. Shitty shit. This dude's got 2, and the next Nitro has 2 right before me. So I doubt they both go tight end. I'm fine with Sadiq or Hawkinson. I prefer Hawkinson. I need someone. I can't keep on taking players for later. Hawkinson's a great early season guy in my mind. And that's my tight end 1, guys. And TJ Hawkinson will be a tight end 1. Dakota wanted me to plant some flags. That is one I'm very comfortable planting. Not the tight end 1 thing, and although I truly believe it, he is going to crush his ADP. He's going to crush tight end 22, and I think he's going to cut that in half. I would bet that he is top 15 for sure. I think he's a tight end 1 with even some upside for higher growth because we went through the Vikings on the undervalued offenses, and the Vikings are surely that. And Addison can still beat his ADP. Justin Jefferson can still go nuclear. The running back room is gross. Kevin O'Connell knows how to run an offense. And Kyler Murray just loves dinking and dunking the ball to his tight end. And also Josh Oliver is his competition. So no worry about snaps there in my mind. I can't take a running back. There goes Dylan Sampson. Man, Dakota has just taken a lot of guys I love, and I am gonna dig his team. I think the build's fine. That's the first thing I look at when I do these grades, and then the players. Again, I'm not gonna just be biased on players I love, but when there's a lot of them, and I feel like you're getting them at a good ADP value, I'm gonna love this team. I'm sorry, I've not been looking at the comment section. Have you heard of the 4 quarterback, 4 running back, 9 wide receiver, 1 tight end build? Seems crazy, but interesting. I mean, the problem with that is you are literally punting 1 week of tight end points. And if it only works if you have Brock Bowers or Trey McBride. I'm not in on that because if your tight end gets hurt, you are literally out of the tournament. So I need some more insurance there. No reason for 4 quarterbacks. I would do 3, 4, 8, 3, something like that. I still like a second one. Now, Bowers should be in your lineup every week, but I still like a second one in case he misses a week or 2. But Bowers is the only one this year that I feel comfortable. McBride a little less than that. I still take 2. I will still take 2. Francis loves Gunner. Yeah, Gunner. I like Gunner too. So we still only have 1 tight end. I do see a couple guys I do like here. There's still 3 dudes I'm very comfortable with. but I'm going to have to take Isaac Tesla if he falls, which he probably won't. This guy's taking Tesla. I have a really bad feeling. He does not. We're going to take Isaac Tesla to pair up with Jared Goff, pair up with Isaiah Pacheco, and St. Brown with Jared Goff. So I like that. I need one of these tight ends to fall. Gunnar Helm or Cade Otton, and mostly. I think Greg Dulcich is fine as well. But I'm fine with either of those guys. What is the bye week for Hawkinson? It is 6, so I am good there. Dulcich is not preferred. These guys have their tight ends. They have 3, 3, and 2. So only one tight end should come off the board. I should get either Gunnar Helm or Cade Otton. For me, that's a toss-up. Cade Otton's the floor play. Gunnar Helm is the upside play, as weird as that is to say. And I only have TJ Hawkinson, so I think I'm going to go with the safe option in Cade Otton. I think that's what I'm going to do. Because I think Daniel Bellinger will have a role, and I don't see anyone taking snaps away from Cade Otton. Now, the problem is a lot of those snaps with Cade Otton is that he's an offensive lineman. But touchdown upside goes to Cade Otton. Baker has a way higher Vegas prop for touchdowns. We got Jedi in here. What's going on, Jedi? Mouth is in another draft. He missed the draft. He funded this draft. We did our segment with Nico, a 2-hour show on undervalued offenses, and we hopped into this one because of Mouth, and it sucks. He didn't get in this one, so I am sorry about that, Mouth. That is shitty. We're making this tight end room work a little bit. I need one more dude, whether it's Terrence Ferguson or Eli Stowers or Pat Freiermuth. One of these guys I trust. I think Mike Gesicki could be an option, but I don't really have the correlation there. But we're making this work. What's going on, GT? Your GT is crushing. I don't know if we're going to do another one, Jedi. We're approaching 3 hours. I was planning on having an early night. We'll see. If we have 30 likes in this video or the super chat goal is met, I will do another one. But we only have 9 likes. Likes and subs combined, but I don't think we have a sub on this video. Let me double check. 1 sub. We have 1 sub in this video. So we have 10 likes and subs. So 20 more. Unlikely to happen. But we will definitely do one then. Hetzer got his tight end stolen too. Again, guys, just because I'm not drafting on the show, you guys can always connect in the Discord and hop in drafts together. That's one of the nice things about the community. So we always have people in here down to draft. Well, there goes Mouth. All right, I guess we're doing another one. Guys, you'll have to tip your cap to Mouth because he is carrying the load here. And also tip your cap to Downtown Sports and go give it a fucking listen. He is funding this process, and as much as I love it and I appreciate it, I do feel kind of bad that Mouth is a one-man army here. A little bit. Do I take Dulcich? I think I take Dulcich. If he falls, dude. Carrying and taking the load. This is going okay. This is really going all right. So we're going to get Dulcich or Ferguson to have our third tight end. And then, unfortunately, Dulcich has the same bye week as TJ Hawkinson, but that's why I took Cade Otton. And then we're going to finish this bitch off with, hopefully, Elijah Surratt. So I don't want to miss out on Surratt because I have Lamar. And I only have 1 stack with Lamar right now. So I think I can't risk. I think I value the stack in Surratt more than I value this third tight end spot. Because I only have 6 receivers. Fuck you, bro. This guy just fucking takes Elijah Surratt. Okay, man. I mean, good pick, but all right, we're going to take Dulcich. And we're going to have to finish with Rashad Bateman. Not the worst thing in the world. You know, I like the upside of Surratt more because he's the unknown. Damn it. I really, really, really wanted Elijah Surratt. I'm really high on him this year, but it's fine. A 7-receiver team with Malik Neighbors is not ideal. I think on this team, we were banking on Malik Neighbors playing by week 4, which there's no guarantees of that, guys. But in these big tournaments, you got to plant your flag. You got to go aggressive. And I think Malik Neighbors in the 4th round is kind of a steal. You took the wrong Washington. Who were you trying to take? Who are you trying to take? Darnell Washington? Oh, Mike Washington. Okay. Yeah. So what's your build at right now, Dakota? 2582. Yeah, Mike Washington is already gone. I'm sorry, brother. I'm more sorry about Mouth not getting in the first draft, but Tyreek Hill. All right, we're going to do quick draft grades on this one, then we will hop in another draft. And also, Mouth's going to send me his team. I don't know if he already did. We will grade Mouth's team. Mouth got in a separate draft, so that's not a bad thing, though. I bet his team's going to be stacked. All right. Last couple picks here. I'm going to look at my squad before we grade it and just see if I actually do like this team. It's not bad, man. It's a little thin at wide receiver, but it's a well-balanced squad. There goes Darnell Washington. So you ended up with Keon Coleman, so 2 tight ends only. You could have taken your boy Jake Tunges. All right, let's get to this here. And how do I move this down? What's fucking going on here? All right, give me 1 second here, and we'll go through draft grades. Let me share this tab instead. All right, draft grades. We're going to go to my team first, and A through F. Let me know what you think. We have Lamar Jackson and Jared Goff. We have Chase Brown, Rico Dowdle, Kyle Monangai, Jonathan Brooks, Isaiah Pacheco, and Zach Charbonnet. St. Brown, Zay Flowers, Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison, Wan'Dale Robinson, Isaac Tesla, and Rashad Bateman with TJ Hawkinson, Cade Otton, and Greg Dulcich. So we have Lamar is paired up with Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman because someone sniped Mark Andrews. Jared Goff, we have Isaiah Pacheco. We have St. Brown and Isaac Tesla. So some correlation, not the most stacks, but, it's enough to get it done. Tight end room is gross, but you know what? It came out a lot better than I thought it would, waiting until, pick 160. These guys are all going to be on the field a lot. And, 2 of them are tied to decent offenses, and Greg Dulcich is just he's in Miami, guys. We don't like that. But, at that point, he gets some work. Going to have a lot of 4 for 45s. But with my team, I think the tight end room's okay. What do you guys have for a grade on the squad? I think it came together all right. It's not, the quarterbacks are the strength and the stacks are okay. So that should help carry me. Only having 2, I don't mind that. The running back depth is all right. The high end is not elite. And then I do like the top 4 receivers. Wan'Dale is kind of a necessity on this team. I don't like Wan'Dale Robinson in best ball. I like him more in redraft, but I got him 12 picks after ADP. And he is going to help the Malik Neighbors first couple weeks. I feel like he's going to be a wide receiver 3. So a lot of B's, B-, something like that. Let's move on to Hetzer's team. You have Jalen Hurts, Jackson Dart at quarterback. Bijan, Breece Hall, Cam Scatterbo, Tyron Tracy, and Singleton. Really nice running back room. Devonta Smith, Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf, Jacoby Myers, Omar Cooper, Jawan Jennings, Jerry Jeudy, and Darius Slayton, with Isaiah Likely, Eli Stowers, and David Njoku. Pretty slick team, man. Receiver room isn't the best, but you took enough of them. Darius Slayton's kind of a sneaky pick there. I don't think he's going to be rostered in a lot of the leagues. I like the Jerry Jeudy pick. Some rookies, some old guys, and the running back room. I do like the Tracy Cam Scatabo thing. Only problem there is if they give Devin Singletary some work, that might be an issue. But this is a good team. This is Jalen Hurts, Jackson Dart. So the quarterback room's good. Running back room's really good. Wide receiver room is probably your weakest link. That's your issue, but I like likely. Stowers is stacked up, and Njoku's kind of just a third depth option. So I'm going to give this one a B minus, maybe a B. It's pretty good. The running backs and quarterbacks are elite, so I do dig this squad. But your build was nice. 2-5-8-3. I think you might have been able to get away with a 2 tight end team, but 9 receivers, I think 8's enough for you. Let's go over to Sunday Thunder. We have Dak Prescott, Daniel Jones, and Jacoby Brissett. B+ from Mr. Free Throw. Dak, Daniel Jones, Jacoby Brissett, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Blake Corum, Aaron Jones, Woody Marks, and Brian Robinson. Really nice running back room. This is a well-built. You have your stud in Gibbs. I love Montgomery as a 2. Blake Corum is the perfect 3. A lot of usable weeks and that league-winning upside you want in best ball. Aaron Jones is going to have a nice first half until he gets hurt. Woody Marks and Brian Robinson. Like that. George Pickens, DJ Moore, Alec Pierce, Josh Downs, Calvin Ridley, and Adonai Mitchell. So only 6. You took a lot of tight ends, huh? Trey McBride, Jake Ferguson, and Darnell Washington. Darnell Washington should not be on this roster. You should have been fine with Trey McBride and Jake Ferguson. You're missing a receiver. You are missing a receiver here. I think anyone, Tyquan Thornton comes to mind. Deion Burks, even if you want to take another Colts receiver, because you only have 6, right? 2, 6, 3, 6, 6, 3. That I'm going to ding this one just on build because I do like the receivers, but Alec Pierce, we don't know his timeline. So now Josh Downs becomes your 3 to start the year, and then Calvin Ridley and Adonai Mitchell. I do love both those players. But Trey McBride, like we were just talking about possibly a 1 tight end build. I'm not for that. But Jake Ferguson, you took him early enough to only make this a 2 tight end room. So, that's why, you know what? I might just say fuck it, Derek. And how many points in that specific week is Darnell Washington going to score? What if he scores 3? That pick was not worth the 3 points you're going to get. That is my thing. I do like this team. I have to give it a C+ to C grade, probably a C, just because I don't like 6 receivers. I can't unless you had. If Alec Pierce was your 5, right? If Josh Downs was your 5, then I would love it. But not enough firepower there. And the Washington thing, I understand. I got a clown in here. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, I do like this team. I just feel like that pick, it should be a wide receiver. It has to be a wide receiver. And you could have probably even gone 5 running backs in this team. So I just don't love the build. What do you guys have for a grade? C+ to B- from Hetzer. Now, I'll say this. 3-6-6-3 is not always awful, but when you have Trey McBride, it seems unnecessary. Like, if you waited, like I had 3 tight ends because I took TJ Hawkinson, that's fine. 3, if you wait at quarterback and wait at tight end, the other 6 and 6 are going to be super stacked. This wide receiver room just leaves a little bit to be desired, but if the Colts come back and you're going to have Alec Pierce and Josh Downs with Daniel Jones, I do dig that. So this team has a lot of upside. I just don't love the build. So yeah, the stacks, like you have a lot of really good elements here. I think too with Bowers and McBride, like a lot of people make the argument for 1. The problem is if they miss 4 games, you're not making the playoffs in that regard where it gives you some insurance. I would have been totally good with the Ferguson thing, but like you said, you took Ferguson because of the stack, which makes sense. I would have probably just punted that week at tight end. It's risky, but it's also risky to have 6 receivers. We got to move to the next team. And that is Dakota's squad, which I think I'm really going to like this team from what I saw drafting. Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence. Nice 2 quarterbacks build there. Travis Etienne, Chuba Hubbard, JCM, Jonah Coleman, and Dylan Sampson. I love the Sampson pick. Don't love Coleman. JCM is a wild card. Chuba's fine. He should get you through the early part of the season. I think the wide receivers are stacked, though. Yeah, when you do that, like for me, Derek, real quick, when that happens at quarterback, I won't punt a quarterback week. That's 20 points roughly. Like, if you take Penix or something, he's going to put up like 17 to 20. Like Darnell Washington might put up 3 points, right? So that is like the difference. I won't punt a quarterback week. I won't. I will punt a tight end week. JSN, Drake London, Jamison Williams, Brian Thomas is his 4, Shaheed's his 5, Ted Hurst, Tank Dell, Malik Washington, and Keon Coleman. Sam Laporta and George Kittle. This is, I know you made the accident, Dakota, of taking the wrong Washington, and it shows. Like, you should not have 9 wide receivers in this team. Brian Thomas is your 4. I'm a big Shaheed guy. Those top 5 are as good as it gets. And Ted Hurst and Tank Dell, I would have stopped it at Tank Dell. Honestly, I would have stopped it at Tank Dell and then built your, taking a third tight end. Maybe not even. I think Laporta and Kittle are fine. I think this had to be a 7 running back build or at least a 6. At least one of those guys have to go. I know you plan on taking Mike Washington. Not a big Mike Washington guy, but there's upside if Genty gets hurt. So I feel like you needed one more. You needed one more running back here because this is weak. Chuba Hubbard's not a real – you don't really have – I love ETN, but he's not Saquon Barkley. He's not Amarian Hampton. He's not James Cook, right? So now you're just pushing down the running back upside. And I love Samson. Yeah, we'll do another puppy hetzer. This is a C+ to B- just because of that, like the build issues. Other than that, I'm saying that, and I love these players. Like, I love what you did here. Probably a B- just because the running back room has some really good upside in it. Hell yeah, Keith. So I'm gonna go B-, and like this could have been a C-, dude, but you took a bunch of awesome players. So there's definitely a good chance this team makes it. If this team makes it, it'll do a lot of damage. But if it doesn't, it's just not, it's going to be like 7th place. So it's a very boomer bust team. But the players are fucking awesome. I wish that Keon Coleman and Malik Washington have no business being on the squad. I would have rather had a 3rd tight end and definitely a 6th running back. All right, I'm going to get to Mouse Team. I want to read this one. What do you have a grade for this team, Dakota? I want to hear your grade. Dakota is usually a very strict grader in terms of, he's hard. He has to make you earn an A. He doesn't give out a lot of A's. Here's Mouse Squad while Dakota gives us his answer. Drake May, Caleb Williams, both after ADP. Travis Etienne, David Montgomery, Kyle Monungai, Kenneth Gainwell, and Nick Singleton. Jamar Chase, A.J. Brown, Luther Burden, Wan'Dale Robinson, Jawan Jennings, Ryan Flournoy, Calvin Ridley, and Torrey Horton with Sam Laporta, Aronde Gatson, and Jawan Johnson. Tight end room is stacked. Wide receivers are a little thin with Wan'Dale as your 4, but Jennings, Flournoy, Ridley, and Horton. I'm giving this an A- for Mouth. This is a fucking good team. This is a good team. What do you guys think? I can read it again for you guys. We have, let's see here. Yeah, that's a good team. A-. A-. I mean, the running backs, ETN, Montgomery, Kyle Monungai, Kenneth Gainwell, Nick Singleton. Really nice there. Drake May and Caleb Williams. I mean, like I said, the receivers, but you have Jamar Chase, A.J. Brown, Luther Burden. And you have the flex potential with Laporta, Gatson, and Jawan Johnson. So the build's an A+. The team is an A-. All right, let's get over to the drafts. We have a lot of people in here. I'm going to look at some of the sit and goes real quick and see. How do I even get to the sit and goes? Let's see here. We can try to get in a puppy, guys. Should we try it? What do you want to do? How many people are in here? Let me know who's in, who wants to do this draft. I can't find the fucking sit and goes for some reason. I can find them on my phone. Let me see. Let me check if there's any sit and goes that have options. My only worry of the puppy is that someone's not going to get in, and specifically Mouth. I can't have that happen again to Mouth. Like, that's, Dakota's in. Let's see. Derek's in. We have a $3 sit and go that has 2 people in there. So Mouth is in, Hetter's in. You got to go on their phone, and I found it. Keith is in. That's 4. Jedi's in. 11 open is the $3 one has 2 people in there. I think we need more. How do I click? Let's see. NFL. I see. That was the eliminator season. So we have $3, $5 has 1 in it. We can try getting in that one for a little bit, guys. The $3 sit and go. Let's get in this one. We have like 7 of us in it. So let's enter this one and see how many we get. We have 4 of us filled. So it is, I think we should be able to fill out most of it, and that should get other people in. Team Money, thoughts on the Brandon Sorsby situation? I mean, he declared for the draft, the supplemental draft. Someone will give up a day 3 pick for him. I think the Browns make a lot of sense, right? Like, they give a chance to get a potential, what would have been a first-round talent for free. A lot of teams are going to take a shot, but I do know this. Yeah, Hetzer, $3 12-person slow draft. We're in. There's 6 out of 10. The biggest issue there is a lot of teams will, like the gambling situation. It's not like a Jameson Williams situation where he was just betting on DraftKings, which is not allowed. Like, this dude was making bets on his own team in college. A lot of teams have a strict, like, they're not going to touch that policy. They're not going to touch a guy that was gambling. And that's the worry with Sorsby. So it'll be a limited amount of teams, but somewhat. I mean, the Browns make a lot of sense. They gave up so much for Deshaun Watson, who was tainted, and no one wanted to touch him. And they set the market in terms of, you know, guaranteed money and all the fucking draft picks they gave up for him. So we're at 11 out of 12. Hell yeah. So someone should fill up here. If someone wants to hop in that just joined this stream, it's a 12-person $3 sit and go. It's not a puppy. The $3 sit and go. It is 11 out of 12 full. We need one more. The Browns make a lot of sense. They should sign him. I mean, if I'm a team like the Dolphins, if I'm a team like the fucking Cardinals, I know they just drafted Carson back, but yeah, this is non-super flex. This is the same as a puppy, just no tournament style. So we should get, there we go. We are full. Right? Yeah, we are full. I have the 3rd pick. That is cool. That is nice. And we're starting up. Dude, I think it might be later than a 3rd. But yeah, 3rd round, that seems awesome. Like, because he is a first-round talent, but now it's like he wouldn't go in the 1st round anymore because of the bullshit. Let's go here. Switch this over. Monta Amada is at 12. He's at 11. Hetzer has 7. We'll go through here. I have 3. Dakota has 4. Super Beast has 6. Hetzer has 7. Jake has 8. Mouth has 9. Monta has 11. And Sunday Thunder has 12. Guys, this is a fucking lot of us in here. I love it. I am loving this. All right, guys, let's draft. Sit and goes are interesting. Stacking doesn't matter nearly as much. You're not really going for the biggest upside. You're going for the highest weekly floor. In my mind, that's what I'm going for. Just stacking the most total points. And I much prefer these, honestly, with how I draft. I feel like stacking is kind of against my nature because obviously we don't want to do that in redraft very often. Unless it's Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. Stacks like that work. But stacking like in redraft, stacking like Baker and Ibuka, I'm not ever reaching for that. I'm just trying to get the best possible player each round, and stacking matters so much in these best ball tournaments. All right. Should be a fun time, gentlemen. Thank you for drafting with me. Very excited. Yeah, thank you.
I'd like to start out this press conference with a thank you to John Fox.
I'd like to thank myself for drafting with myself. Thank you, John Elway, for also looking wildly plastic. CMC off the board at 8 to Jake. Jake, you're at the 8th pick. What is going on here, man? This dude gets a 7th and 8th pick every single draft. It's funny. He said he hasn't drafted with us in a while. That's true. And then he comes in and he gets the 8th pick again. It's unreal, man. Your share of players is going to be, you're going to have so much McCaffrey, so much St. Brown. JSN falls to 9. Did I just see this right? What's going on here? Genty at 6. Wow. Mouth's just fucking doing cartwheels over there. Holy shit, man. I don't think I've ever seen JSN go past 6. I think 6 is the latest I've seen him ever go. Maybe 7 once. I don't think so. 9? Wild stuff, man. I feel really bad about my Jamar Chase at 3 now, looking at that. Holy shit. Ooh, that's a good call from Brian. Sorsby to the Jets. Now, that is a nice call. Because, I said that the Cardinals make some sense. But the Cardinals, have Carson Beck as a 3rd-round draft capital. Like, they took Klubnik in the 7th round. So they have nothing tied to Klubnik. They can cut that fucker. Yeah, they did. But there was a 7th-round pick, team money. So what's the JSN news? Did I miss something? Yeah, Jake, Underdog hates you, bro. I'm sorry. We don't hate you. We love you around here. What's the JSN news? I agree with that, Dakota. Well, all the running backs just went bye-bye. They went bye-bye. Damn it. So is this right? There's 9 of us in here. Jedi's in here as well. I didn't know Jedi's at 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to get Brock Bowers at a pretty nice value. Yeah, well, yeah, T. Higgins is your most drafted player. You get him in the 3rd round every time. Oh, nice call, Keith. Hey, you got me, bro. You got me. I'm just like, what are we talking about here? Man, I don't like any of these running backs, dude. Nope, don't like any of them. So let's go with Devonta Smith. I like having early, especially the sit and goes. I prefer early running back, but who was I going to take, dude? Breece Hall? No. I guess I'm going to take an ETN there. Jeremiah Love was already gone, so I had no option for a running back. I think Bowers was pretty nice value. Brian says, how would you rank these 3 in redraft? Ladd, Burden, Ibuka? I would, man, as much as I'm a Ibuka hater, I would probably rank it Ladd, Ibuka, and Burden. But I would put Ibuka closer to Burden than I would Ladd. And I'm not really high on any of these guys, personally. I have Terry McLaurin ranked ahead of all 3 of these guys. I'm the biggest Terry McLaurin fan. So I have Terry McLaurin in my early projections. I haven't really done a set list yet. But I have Terry McLaurin in the wide receiver 14 range. Just how I projected it out in terms of target share. And, it's also a tough projection with Jaden Daniels. I'm projecting Jaden Daniels to play 15 games this year. But I actually have Terry McLaurin ranked ahead of all these guys. I mean, we just saw it the last healthy year, him and I guess you can go back to his previous years and he was more of a floor play, right? Like 5 touchdowns and 1,000 yards. That is his floor. And they did not address the wide receiver room at all. I am not scared of Brandon Ayuk. Bring Brandon Ayuk in. It's actually going to help Terry McLaurin because Brandon Ayuk's terrible. Like, I would have it. I don't have to make this decision because Terry McLaurin goes around after Chris Olave, but I think I want Terry McLaurin over Olave. I mean, Marvin Harrison would be in the mid-20s, Dakota. Brian Thomas would be in the late 20s. I think it was like 24 for Marvin Harrison and 27 for Brian Thomas. So I'm much higher on all those guys. Now, the nice thing is you don't have to draft those guys there, right? You don't have to draft them there. You know what's wild is there's 21 people in here, and me and Nick O did an amazing fucking segment, a 2-hour segment before this, and it was early, and most people expect us to be on late, and there was like 6 people watching, and it just doesn't make any sense. I guess people love the draft. And I love drafting too. I love this content, but I much rather have conversations with my co-hosts on figuring these things out and then drafting after. I think this is the perfect mix of stuff. This also does require a 4-hour night, which, you know what? I love what I do, so you don't hear a complaint out of me, buddy. There are still some wide receivers available. Running backs are drying up very quickly. Very quickly. Colson Loveland's still available. Sweet. We got a lot of players, but see, I'm much more comfortable waiting at running back in a tournament because I'm shooting for ultimate upside. So I take all the backups. I take the Monunguys of the world. I take the Dylan Sampsons of the world. And even guys like Tank Bigsby. And I just need to make it to the playoffs, make it to the tournament. And if those guys become starters based on injury, I win. We win. We have a really good chance to win the tournament. In a sit and go, we're not shooting for ultimate upside. We're shooting for most points scored during the regular season. So the waiting on running back strategy is not as viable. So Hetter's taking all the running backs right now. Derrick Henry, Travis Etienne, and Cam Scatterbo. Damn you, brother. Damn you. Thank you, Wally. It is the place to be. What's going on, brother? We have 9 of us, not all community members, but 9 people in the stream watching right now in the chat section in the sit and go. It is our sit and go. Man, this is quite rough. Bro, talk up Terry McLaurin and he gets taken way ahead of ADP. Great pick, Beast. Damn it. Vlad McConkey's sitting there 10 picks after ADP right now. And he's not there anymore. So that's fine with me. I will take my boy David Montgomery. I needed a running back. Brian, I love Michael Wilson. He is one of my favorite players in the NFL. I've loved him since coming out of college, man. I've loved Michael Wilson. And I can't do it. So we have an option, but I'm going to go with Quinshon Judkins over Bucky Irving. Give me touchdowns. Give me safe and stability. Yeah, he shouldn't fall that far, Dakota. I'm not even a Ladd guy, but Ladd should go over Luther Burden, and he's going to go over Terry McLaurin. Marvin Harrison they have to make it work. I was saying that during the segment with Nico. They have to make it work. And as bad as Marvin Harrison's been, guys, he's averaged a tick under a half touchdown a game in his NFL career. It's like 0.45, 0.44 touchdowns a game. With playing awful, with playing on a bad team, with playing with bad quarterbacks, if that's his floor, 8 touchdowns, that's pretty damn good. That's pretty damn good. He was a top 24 guy, but Jacoby Brissett was averaging over 45 passes a game, which is never sustainable. His target share was insane. And if you look at the splits, he averaged 5.6 PPR points with a healthy Marvin Harrison in the lineup. And then he was averaging 17 PPR points without Marvin Harrison. I mean, it's probably somewhere in the middle this year. I would say it's closer to the 5.6 and 17. He's a night dude. I love Michael Wilson. It's just, I still like him at ADP. I like them both at ADP, but I'm going to go for the league winner potential in Marvin Harrison, the guy drafted 4th overall just a couple years ago. Not a good pick. He is essentially a bust, and he has been in fantasy because we've been overdrafting him. He's been in real life because he was overdrafted. Marvin Harrison should have been drafted in the mid-teens with his talent, right? He was – everyone was talking about him. I feel like he was in the same bucket as Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson. And JSN's clearly the best of that bunch. That is my concern with Carnell Tate. I feel like Marvin Harrison was a better prospect than Carnell Tate. I mean, Marvin Harrison didn't have to get to play with Jeremiah Smith next to him. Jeremiah Smith took all the coverage. 100%. And he has been average. Good call. Good call, Francis. He has been average. And it's just everything, right? The pedigree, the getting drafted super high, us as a fantasy community, not me, but us as a fantasy community, making him a first-round pick his rookie year, making him a third-round pick his second year, and so on, have just made it seem awful. Like, if he should have never been valued that high in all regards, real life, in fantasy, wild stuff. But we would not be calling him a bust if he was drafted in the mid-teens in the NFL draft. If we were drafting him in the 4th round his rookie year, he would have actually returned value. It's just he busted because he was 3 rounds after. Fun fact about, I'll tell you after I make my pick. Fun fact about Marvin Harrison. So Mike Storey, you guys all know him. You love him. My number 1 main co-host. His rookie year, Marvin Harrison was like wide receiver 7, right? We did our ranking show. It was me, Nico, and Storey right here, sitting right next to me in person. Joe Burrow gets taken. Beast, I'm going to kill you. Take McLaurin, you take Joe Burrow. God damn it. I don't even need a stack, but fuck. And I don't like any of these guys, dude. This sucks. I guess I'm just going to take Jalen Hurts. So Storey comes out with his ranks. He had Marvin Harrison ranked at wide receiver 29. I think it was wide receiver 29. It might have been lower. It was literally 20 wide receiver spots lower than consensus. And you know what? I think he finished right around wide receiver 30, but we were just like, you're an idiot. That's wrong. Like, you could fade a guy, but why are you fading him that low? And he had that. That was his pick. And man, I can't take Chuba Hubbard. This is tough drafting with you fucks. I guess we're going to take DK Metcalf here. Don't love this either. It's a pretty balanced team, but you're all good, Keith. Good call, because I was overreacting. The non-stacking doesn't matter, so that is best player available. My thing with Terry McLaurin is I have him ranked higher than anyone in the world. Apparently, you're on the Terry McLaurin train too, because you took him ahead of players that no one takes him ahead of McConkey. No one takes him ahead of Evans. No one takes him really above Waddle and Jamison Williams, right in that range. So, good. Hell of a pick. I mean, hell of a pick. Sky Moore. God, that's a Sky Moore. I was in on Sky Moore that year. So it would have been his second year after his rookie year. He was going in like the 8th round. I was taking him as my flex in a lot of places. I was just like, yeah, I saw McCole Hardman do well in this role, relatively well, scoring 7 touchdowns that year. And Sky Moore, that's the cautionary tale of drafting an athletic guy out of a small school. I think Sky Moore, what did he play? Iowa State. Very small school and just very raw. Like, Sky Moore could never run a route to save his life. And Patrick Mahomes is really good at improvising, but the problem is Sky Moore was like 5'10". And if you're 5'10", you have to be the Parker Washington mold. You have to be that guy that is a real route runner, that is real shifty, that's going to know how to understand how to like run and beat a zone coverage. Sky Moore couldn't even beat man coverage, nonetheless zone coverage. Brian, I remember having Rosen over Darnold in the draft. Any other notable quarterbacks in that class? Not the Allen year, right? No, Josh Rosen was the Josh Allen year, I believe. Someone fact-check that for me. I think that was the Josh Allen. It's not even that. There was all-time players in that class. And Josh Rosen, his statement about, I'm going to make everyone pay, that did not age well for Josh Rosen. No, it did not. Let's see here. This is a fun draft, guys. We have 9 of us in here right now. This is a sit and go. It's going to be interesting to do draft grades after this. Also, gentlemen, you can do me a couple favors, if you'd like to. Check out Downtown Sports. That is Mouth's show on YouTube, on a bunch of different platforms. Check out Downtown Sports. Don't even sub to them. Just give them a listen. Listen to them for 5 minutes. They talk about a lot of not just football. They're doing World Cup stuff. They do NHL stuff. They do a lot of NBA stuff, MLB, and football during the football season. Only a once or twice a week show. Not nearly the commitment this show is to watch this. We're on every single night. But give them a listen if you could. Also, if you were interested in joining this community, drafting with us like you're doing now, getting draft grades, playing community fantasy leagues, redrafts with us, coming on the show as a guest. A lot of good stuff in there, guys. Free merchandise giveaways, access to the early bets. Hop in. I also do want to shout out to the people that are actually in there that are supporting me every single month and have stayed through the off season. I appreciate every single one of you guys. It means a lot to me, and can't say it enough. I do appreciate it. But we do offer a lot, and also it's a way to support the show, a small-time channel that is emerging, guys, and just wait for this year. We made a lot of money last year, and if we do 60% as good as we did last year, we're making a lot of money again this year because we crushed on all the major guys: Olave, Javonte Williams, George Pickens, Tucker Kraft, Rip. But that was the pick of the century when he was healthy. Also, you get access to the bets, guys. 96 and 58 on these player props last year. We crush every single year. So go to the website, professionalfanatics.com. Go to the link in the description. Sign up for the Patreon, and then I will get you in the Discord tonight. That's the best. That's the place to be. That is where the community is hanging out, talking football. Talk about a lot of things. We keep it positive. We try to as much as we can, and it's a very good group of people. The guys you see in here all the time: Dakota, Mouth, Hetzer, Keith, Francis is a new addition. We appreciate you. A lot of people. If I left someone out, there's a lot of people to remember. So love all you guys, man. So we'd love to have you aboard. It's a good time to hop in. We are ramping up here, guys. We only have 2.5 months until this season starts. A couple good options on the board. There goes Kyle Monungai. Man, we have a tight end. Have a good quarterback. Dude, Trevor Lawrence is still available. I do like that. Dakota has a lot. There are a lot of good options on the board, Dakota. I feel you, man. I'm right after you, and I'm wondering. He takes Josh Downs. We're going to take Blake Corum for our RB3. Kind of like this running back room now. David Montgomery, Quinshon Judkins, and Blake Corum. We are done at running back for a while. And we can take, I like any of these guys, honestly, that are available. It's a good range for receiver. Worthy, Myers, Pearsall, Pittman, Golden, Dubs. I love Dubs this year. I've been drafting him very much, but so Jedi is right next to me. He takes Trevor Lawrence. He takes Brock Purdy. We're going to take Xavier Worthy with this pick. Dakota's shaking his head because he knows my Xavier Worthy love. Another guy I'm going to be way higher on the consensus. As long as the shoulder injury is a thing of the past, even if Rashee Rice is back, man, they did not address this wide receiver room at all. And I do like Tyquan Thornton as a last-round pick, but Xavier Worthy, former first-round pick, only 23 years old. He is awful at football. I acknowledge that. But, there's been a lot of really bad football players that have good fantasy seasons. And, Jamison Williams is also pretty bad at football. Still pretty bad at football. I just watched every Jamison Williams route from last year, and I saw a lot of drops, a lot of, misplaying the ball over his head. Not a good deep ball tracker still. Not a good awareness for the sideline. Now, Xavier Worthy takes that shit to the next level. He is awful at tracking the ball. And that's something that's hard to improve on. I understand that. He will improve on it because he can't be any worse. Last year seems like a lost year. That's what I'm banking on. Opportunity cost is nothing. We're talking 9th or 10th round. You're talking that he's the perfect bench receiver for me because you can just cut him, honestly. And I hate cutting a 9th round pick, but you can just cut the guy. You ever have Josh Allen fall 5 picks past ADP and be upset? You have to draft. Integrity. No, I will take Josh Allen after ADP all day long, but I don't like taking early quarterback. I really don't. The 6th round is so juicy with Hurts and Caleb and Burrow and Daniels and May. I like the later guys too. I mean, Stafford and Goff and a 6 for a passing touchdown. I'm never taking a quarterback early. I'll take fucking Baker. I don't care. Dakota's off Corum. I don't know, man. I'm not really a big Kyron Williams guy, obviously. And Blake Corum, they're going to be blowing teams out, so he's going to get that. I feel like he's going to salt the game away. That's their salt away guy. They're going to split red zone carries. That's what they did last year. I don't think they're going to go away from that. And I love the fact that Blake Corum gets entire drives. Now, it's essentially 60-40, right? If there is 10 drives in a game, it's going to be 4 drives for Corum and 6 drives for Kyren. 10 drives is a little lofty, so usually it's 8. And it might be 5 and 3, but Corum will mix in. And I just love the value at Blake Corum. And in redraft especially, I'm on him as a third running back because he's playable. And if something happens to Kyren, where are we ranking Blake Corum? I'm ranking him top 5. Is that crazy? Because if he's getting 20 touches a game on that offense, maybe top 5 is a little lofty. In PPR, it wouldn't be top 5 because he's not a pass catcher. Top 8 for sure. He is an RB1. Team money, Kamara worth a pick? No, not really. I mean, you could take a shot on him in best ball, but nope, I am not on Kamara coming back at all. What is Jalen Hurts by? Okay. That's juicy. Fine with any of these dudes. I don't need a tight end. No, I don't think he's worth a pick. In PPR, he's not going to have a startup, even a fantasy flex-worthy role with ETN healthy. And Kendre Miller showed out last year. Devin Neal was okay last year. Like, Alvin Kamara is just dusty, and if they play him too many snaps, he'll get hurt. I think that's the problem there. Aaron Jones, gross. God damn it. Wan'Dale Robinson off the board, you son of a bitch. And, dude, someone took Kyler. This is getting rough. I have to hurry up here. 18 seconds. I don't like any of these guys. I can't take Concepcion in this, I don't think. So I'm going to take Jaden Higgins, I think. Fuck it. I'm going to take Khalil Shakir. I think that's a nice balance for the Xavier Worthy pick. I wanted Wan'Dale. I wanted Kyler Murray. That's who I wanted. Was not meant to be. And I will take either of these running backs. Let's see. Not taking a quarterback here. Let's take Chris Rodriguez, who should score a decent amount of touchdowns, and I am pretty high in the Jags offense. We'll do that. Yep, Brian, I am a Chicagoland native, so I definitely saw the reports, and it's very concerning to have a player talk about, usually they hide that. They always say they're fine, and him to say his foot does not feel right. I am not fading him because of that report. I still like him at ADP. I think the community will fade him, and Odunze will be a value. But it's not what you want to hear. If you're a dynasty owner of Odunze, it's not what you want to hear. Matt says Josh's quarterback won 3 years in a row. He's a steal at the 3-4 turn. He doesn't go to the 3-4 turn, Matt, though. He is early third round. Yeah, he's almost a steal at where you draft him. I don't draft like that, though. I like the depth at quarterback, and it's just such a deep and replaceable position. But I don't fault anyone for taking Josh Allen. I much prefer Lamar 2 rounds later, is my thinking, because Lamar has the same upside as Josh Allen. We've seen it. The downside's much worse, but at quarterback, it's very replaceable. And give me Lamar literally 27 picks later. Or just give me, the quarterback 12. Give me Matt Stafford 100 picks later, or wherever he's going to go, whoever falls. I get what you're saying about Stafford playing down to the competition, Dakota, but this defense is so improved. They're going to be blowing teams out, man. I think Watson is the biggest question mark of the draft. Positives is that he got paid to be the guy, but so injury prone. I mean, he doesn't have a 1,000-yard season is the bottom line, Brian. And he looked great last year. He's bulked up. They figured out the hamstring injury. One leg was longer than the other, whatever the hell that is. Weird stuff. But I like the ADP, and I like the narrowed down target tree they have there. Losing Dubs and losing Wicks is huge. They're not going to rotate these guys. And now we're probably going to see some Bo Melton, unfortunately. And Tucker Kraft is going to be a little slow to start the season. I think he starts week 1, but he won't be fully healthy. So Watson is pretty fine at that ADP 57 roughly. That seems like witchcraft team money, but the Madden curse is pretty real, man. It's hit a lot of players, in this case, a whole team. Not on Parker Washington. I was on Parker Washington last year. I picked him up everywhere. He got me through to the fantasy playoffs, but not super in on him. I am a Brian Thomas guy, and I do like Jacoby Myers at value. So we need a quarterback here. Definitely Herbert over Mahomes, Brian, because he goes way earlier. Herbert's going to go in the early 80s. Mahomes is falling after pick 100. At that point, you almost want Herbert at value over Mahomes, but I don't know, man. I'm not super in on Herbert at his ADP. Again, I think all those guys are the same. Herbert and Jackson Darts and Trevor Lawrence. Like, I went through this in ADP versus Vegas, and Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert have the same, and this is passing only, the same passing props that, I'm taking Malik Willis, the same passing props that Jordan Love has. It's like 3,600 yards and 25 touchdowns. I know they both offer more on the ground, but you can get Jordan Love literally 50 to 70 picks later. So, oh God, Peyton Hillis, bro. Say it ain't so. What a bum Peyton Hillis was. We need another receiver. I think this is a really good spot for this guy. Trey Tucker in this sit and go format feels like pretty decent value. So give me a second on the comments, guys. We have 2, 4, 6, 1, Chase, Smith, Metcalf, Worthy, Shakir, and Tucker, with Montgomery, Judkins, Corum, and Rodriguez. So we can just go with one more tight end on this team. And pretty balanced. Okay. Yeah, I get it. You're off the Rams. I know they're going to be a machine this year, man. They're a team on a mission. They are so stacked, dude. And that's not even my whole thing. I think Blake Corum, I think Kyron's a better football player. Kyron is he's trusted more. He's a better pass blocker. He's a better receiver, even though he's a bad receiver. He's never eclipsed 1 yard per route run in his NFL career. I know running backs have a lower yards per route run, but he is a catch and fall down guy. Now, he is trusted and he catches some touchdowns. Blake Corum's a better running back. He is a better runner of the football. If you go watch the film, I'm sure, Dakota, you would probably agree. You've seen it. Blake Corum just looks like he's shot out of a cannon. Kyron Williams is small and slow. Never been a Kyron guy. He's proved me wrong a lot. He's been really good for fantasy, but Kyron is just a product of volume and the offense. And they didn't have Blake Corum there. Last year, you saw it, how it trended, man. The playoffs, it went back to all Kyron Williams, which it will this year as well. Long regular season, they have to keep, Kyron healthy. It's just the price, and it's just the upside of like a playable guy that could be a league winner. In best ball tournaments, I love it. In redraft, I love it too. Yeah, we all go back far enough, Keith. Peyton Hillis was that 2004 for Peyton Hillis? Dude, Brian, ESPN has the worst rankings in ADP of any site. I have 3 home leagues on ESPN that I play. Not any of them. I will never commission a league on ESPN because it's trash. Holy shit, man. It's just wacky. And I think the reasoning, we talked about this last week in the show, ESPN has the most casuals playing. There's a lot of free leagues on ESPN. That just fucks everything up. Where Yahoo is sharper. Yahoo's still not that sharp. Sleeper's the sharpest. Fantrax is sharp. I play Fantrax Publix, FFPC, some of these NFFC. Those are higher stakes leagues. Those are going to have sharper ADPs. Brian says Rams Chiefs. Hey, man, I'm a Chiefs. I don't know about their win total. I think that they're all undervalued in fantasy. Stacking doesn't matter in sit and go. It's just like it's redraft. I mean, we like to do it when we can, but it's not a big deal. Tiny Dancer at running back is hilarious. I had to retire the clip, guys, because I had to. It sucks. I love the clip. We all love it. What is Brock Bowers by? 13. Okay. I'm in. I am in. We need one more running back, but it is just disgusting here. We're good at quarterback. There goes Aaron Rodgers off the board. That backfield was nasty, Derek. Peyton Hillis, Felix Jones, and Darren McFadden. Was Hillis playing fullback then, essentially? Because Felix Jones was a home run hitter. So was Darren McFadden. Felix Jones was part of that Dolphins Wildcat thing, right? Hey-o, my favorite player to draft, Mr. T.J. Hawkinson, soon to be a top 12 tight end. Love that. Brian, we have not gotten any news on Tyreek Hill. And it's, Mouth is a New York guy, and he's pretty plugged in. And we thought he'd go to the Giants, right? But I guess with Neighbors not starting the year, you can't bring another injured player. They bring in Odell. That was a nice landing spot for him. I don't think the Chiefs want to bring that headache in anymore. So we're going to take Ryan Flournoy. I'm off of Tyreek Hill. Yeah, Ayuk, dude, it's just getting worse and worse. Like, he's still posting shit. Like, we have a couple clips we play here for Brandon Ayuk. I'm going to keep this one a little bit more PC, even though this is funny that I'm saying this clip's a little more PC. Here's Brandon Ayuk for you.
Simple Jack, the story of a mentally impaired farmhand who can talk to animals, was a box office disaster that many critics called one of the worst movies of all time.
Got a good brain.
I think you've got a fine brain, Jack.
You make me happy.
But now the question is, can speed...
That is actually more PC than the other clip I have for Brandon Ayuk, which says a lot about this show. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it. That's why I like to let the clips do the talking for me, so I don't have to say stupid things. Just frustrating. Brandon Ayuk's frustrating. Michael Thomas, the difference is Michael Thomas was an elite football player, or at least he was in an elite role with Drew Brees and Sean Payton, and had 3 all-time seasons. Brandon Ayuk has 1 elite season, and it was with Kyle Shanahan, who's a top 3 coach, and definitely top 3 coordinator, at least top 3 coordinator. So Ayuk was fine. He was good. He was never a top 12 receiver. And if he was, it was for 1 season. He was pretty good at Arizona State. I've never been a Brandon Ayuk fan. Michael Thomas was definitely propped up by that cookie cutter offense and slant boy. We all know that. I don't know, man. Michael Thomas lost his brain. I don't know what Michael Thomas is punching teammates. I don't know what the hell happened with Michael Thomas. He made me a lot of money his first breakout season. I had him everywhere. And then I didn't necessarily believe in it as much. And then I bought back in when he came back from that ankle injury in like the 7th round a couple years. And I was like, this is easy money. And it was not easy money. Michael Thomas was never the same. Michael Thomas was kind of slow, man. But he was a perfect pairing with Drew Brees and Sean Payton. That was awesome. Paid and dipped. Yep. We've seen that story as old as time. Dakota Niners played Ayuk situation like legends. League should write a HR training for the rest of the league based on it. Damn straight. You know what? I support what the Niners are doing. Let me bring back some nostalgia. Kenny Galladay. Yeah, dude. Kenny Galladay played his college ball at NIU, which is literally Northern Illinois University, which is about a 30-minute drive from me. I'm much closer to NIU than I am the actual city of Chicago. And he was awesome, man. I love Kenny Go all day, man. He had 4 awesome years. You know what? He also had Matt Stafford, who was a kingmaker with wide receivers. Nice pairing there. He was like essentially the poor man. I want to say 4 poors version of Megatron in that offense. He led the league. Fun fact, Kenny Galladay led the NFL in touchdown receptions one year. It was only like 12 touchdowns. It was a weird year for wide receivers, but he won. I think going into that year, it was like 80-1 to win that award for that bet. Thank you, Keith. Thank you. Michael Thomas, all-star slant boy, damn straight. Hatcher says this might be one of the worst teams. Garrett Wolf, Dakota, was the running back from NIU. Garrett Wolf, NIU's own. Very small, like 5'6". He was like a Darren Sproles type without the pass catching, so it just didn't work. Think of like work done mixed with Darren Sproles is what I'm thinking about with Derek Wilk. That's a throwback. That was like from the late 90s. I was still a kid, but he was pretty goddamn good in college. We have 16 likes in this video. If we get up to 30, we will do another draft. If anyone signs up for the Patreon during this stream, we will do another draft. And also, you just should anyway, because why not? Man, I don't need receiver. This is a rough spot here. Let's take Adonai Mitchell. I think I'm done at receiver now. We need one more running back for sure, and it is getting gross here. It is getting really gross. Jeremy says Best Ball Mania next. This is a sit and go right now. Jeremy, I wait until closer to the season to do any Giants best ball tournaments because best ball is just super random. And okay, so I'm going to take Jordan James. Someone took Ray Davis from me and Katron Allen. I'm not a big Katron Allen fan, but yeah, I always wait for Best Ball Mania, Jeremy, until I do like 5 or 10 teams at the very end of the season, as well as the DraftKings Millionaire Maker. Dude, I did pretty well in the DraftKings Millionaire. I got to 1 finals and 3 semifinals, and I only had 5 teams. So I got to semifinal in 4 different ones. Yeah, I saw that, Jeremy. By the way, there's a better promo that DraftKings has. It's draft 1, get 1 for the Millionaire Maker. Everyone should do that. That goes for the whole year. So everyone should hop on that one. Draft 1 Millionaire on DraftKings and get a free one. So essentially that's a free $25. Where this one you have to draft 5 to get 1. And you know what? I will end up doing about 5 of those. I'm a redraft guy, Jeremy. I throw about $7,000 in redraft every year. So I put about 1,000 in best ball. So I'd rather just sprinkle my money in the small ones because I just like drafting for content. I love drafting with you guys. And I know the big money isn't in the Best Ball Mania. Don't get me wrong. I'm sorry. I think best ball is a lot of luck. And redraft is way less luck. I make my own luck in redraft. We can make moves. And I do a lot of public leagues, so there's no trades, but at least I have the waiver wire and I have start-sit decisions. Like I can make the edge there. And also I'm going to go on my history, right? I've been doing 25 plus redraft leagues for 15 years now, and I've lost money once on redraft. I have lost money 3 times in best ball out of 2 times out of 5 years. So it's 40% of the time I've lost money. Now I've doubled up a couple years, but I'm doubling up every year in redraft. So that's where I want to sink most of my money. NFFC is good. I do Fantrax public, dude. Fantrax has the lowest rake. They take the lowest percentage of all of the public sites. So that is, and I love the full PPR there. I think NFFC is also full PPR. But that is my recommendation is Fantrax. And I have a nice little community I play with there. Oh, yeah, Michael Turner. Yeah, Michael Turner was also an NIU guy. Thunder thighs, dude. That guy had the biggest fucking thighs ever. But, yeah, Michael Turner was more well-known. He had a hell of a career in Atlanta and played pretty well with it. It was the Chargers, I think he went to after that. Michael Turner was a first-round draft pick for like 3 years in fantasy because he was scoring 10 touchdowns a year. Hetzer is just really hating his team. We're going to get to draft grades. It's going to be tough for that. Yeah, I was debating Tank Dell. I just prefer the safety in this sit and go of Adonai Mitchell. I think Adonai Mitchell's on the field in 2 wide receiver sets. I know they drafted Omar Cooper and Kenyon Sadiq and all those kind of things, but Adonai Mitchell, he played really well last year. It should be James Conner should go to the Packers. That is the ideal destination for all parties involved. Some Josh Jacobs insurance. I think the Josh Jacobs, domestic stuff is no big deal anymore. But even besides that, I thought they needed to bring someone in anyway. Like Marshawn Lloyd gets hurt going to the grocery store. You have Josh Jacobs who got hurt last year. You don't have Emmanuel Wilson anymore. And that's the play. I mean, I am a fan and I am a fan of James Conner still. He's a dinosaur, but he is a pro. And they like their older running backs. LaFleur likes a trusted guy. Man, it's probably Zach Branch, but I don't think they have one. I think the wide receiver 2 is clearly Kyle Pitts. And Bijan's the wide receiver 2. Kyle Pitts is the wide receiver 3. We need another receiver. Got a couple guys I do like here. Someone took Tyquan Thornton. Jesus, Tyquan Thornton. That's fine. We will take another shot at receiver. Are my running backs even good enough? David Montgomery, Judkins, Blake Corum, Chris Rodriguez, Jordan James. I mean, these guys are just shots in the fucking dark at this point. So let's take a receiver, I think, and have some big weeks. Take Torrey Horton. Where will the Giannis get traded to? I'm thinking Boston or Miami. Miami's been rumored for a while. New York was rumored back in the day, but they're certainly not doing that now. Boston makes sense because I think Jaylen Brown has become a headache there. He wants to be a 1 somewhere. So they have the capital to trade Jaylen Brown and maybe a first-round pick to get Giannis. That makes a lot of sense. Tarek says Giannis to San Antonio. That would be badass, dude. Giannis and fucking Wemby on the same court together. That's like shit out of Space Jam. You know what I mean? Like 2 aliens on the court together. And that would be a lot of fun. And they have the young players. They could trade Castle. They could trade Harper. If they could keep both those guys and trade all their picks, that would be fucking awesome. Maybe they throw in De'Aaron Fox, which you would love. Good draft, bro. This was a really sharp room. We're going to do draft grades here real quick. Give me a second to answer a couple more questions. Yeah, that would be purgatory. That's essentially what the Niners are doing to Brandon Ayuk if they traded Giannis to the Jazz. Because not only are you traded to a terrible franchise, currently a terrible franchise, you're also going to Salt Lake City, which, he's been in Milwaukee, which Milwaukee's a fine city. I actually like Milwaukee. I go there quite a bit for games. It's only 2.5 hours for me. But it's not exactly a hub. It's not exactly a happening place compared to these other NBA cities. San Antonio and Oklahoma City are the 2 dumps in terms of just being nothing. And that would be, you know what? Giannis has kind of been a baby back bitch a little bit. I love Giannis. Utah is notoriously a pretty boring city. So that would be interesting. We'll do draft grades here in 1 second. Let me switch the page. And here we go. Jazz do have a lot of young talent for sure. I like that they got Jaren Jackson. That's a good one. Let's take a look at this draft board here. Let me get this up before we get to draft grades. It's this one, right? Yeah. Hetzer had... It's a little harder to draft when you don't have the first pick, Hetzer, huh? You always get the first pick. This is a wild draft, guys. We had 9 of us in here, so these draft grades are going to be tough. Gonna be tough for sure. All right, let's do draft grades. Guys, we will do one more draft if someone joins the Patreon, joins the community right now tonight while we're doing draft grades. I will get the notification. Why wait? It's the place to be. Ask anyone in this chat. Most of these guys are members of the community, drafting with us every single night, hanging out. We don't just do drafts, so we have a lot of long-form stuff with 6 different co-hosts. A lot of good stuff planned the next couple months. I do want to shout out Downtown Sports, guys. Give them a like, give them a listen. On every single platform you find your podcast, and they're on YouTube as well. So just search Downtown Sports. You'll see Mouth and Beast talking about whatever's going on in the sports world. Easy listen, guys. Only 1 episode, 2 episodes a week, and they're pretty short, like an hour and a half, not like 3 hours like this stream. Also, join our community. I do want to just shout out one more time all of the fine people in here. Appreciate all of you guys sticking with us through the off season. Real knows real, and I appreciate you guys. Here's Helen Hunt, just for you guys that are wondering. She looks very pretty, very thick, lustrous hair, and a great smile. Those got to be dentures. We offer a lot, though, guys. Support me. Support the channel. We do need it, and we like to give back. Community leagues, we have a lot of redrafts. We also have a best ball league with 2 spots left, a community best ball league we're going to do over on Sleeper with 12 teams, but really deep, 24 rounds for that best ball league. And we have a bunch of redrafts up as well. All of it's done on League Safe. So you're not going to have to worry about like Venmoing me. It's all on League Safe. You get paid out the day after it happens. A bunch of $100 leagues. Maybe we'll do some bigger ones. Whatever you guys want to do. Everything is voted on by the community, by the league. Guest appearances on the pod. If you want to be a fanatic in the Patreon, we like having fans on the show. Come on the show. Talk about Helen Hunt's awesome hair. Talk about Peyton Hillis being a Madden bust. All the stuff, all the things. Free merchandise giveaways as well. We're giving away hats and shirts. Free. I ship them right to you. And it's pretty good the gear. The hats are really nice. Discord, like I said, is the place to be. That is what's up. Yeah, 11 more likes. If we get 11 more likes, we will do another draft. And the bets, guys. We are winning a lot. We have a 4-year track record. Nick's and 5 from out. We have a 4-year track record of dominating. These are all even odds bets, -120 or better. Usually they're minus 110. We only do player props typically. 96 and 58 last year. We have not had a losing season since the show started. We are at a 63% clip roughly, which is pretty goddamn elite. And you can get those picks on Saturday night. I do release those in the betting show on Saturday night, but I place these bets on Wednesday night. So you will get the actual receipt, the actual draft ticket or the bet ticket on Discord in the betting tab. And when I place the bet. So that is going to pay for itself right there, guys, because we have not had a losing season. Like I said, I don't plan on having one anytime soon. I have never been more plugged into this shit. We have been doing 3 hours a night roughly since August. I mean, we didn't really stop in February or March or April or May. So we're not going to stop anytime soon, gentlemen. Again, go to the website, professionalfanatics.com, link in the description for the Patreon if you want to do that way, or just search it in the Patreon, sign up, and I will get you in tonight into the chat. It is the greatest fantasy football chat ever, honestly, because it's 40 of us roughly, and it is all very, very, very positive, and it is just the place to be.
It's, what do you call it, Kramer? It was... Come on, Rudy, come on. We call it the place to be. The place to be, yes.
All right, I'm just going to keep this page up, and we'll just go team by team, and I will have it on my phone as well to get the complete roster. Let me get this picture off here. And we will do draft grades. There's a lot to get into. But guys, this is also a sit and go, so this is not a tournament. Stacking does not really matter. We're going on best possible team. Let's start with Jedi's team at the number 2 spot here. So I'm going to read it. I'm just going to keep this up here. You can see the first 8 picks. I'm going to read it position by position for you guys, and we can go in through and get draft grades. All right, we have Trevor Lawrence and Brock Purdy at quarterback. He has Bijan, Breece Hall, Chuba Hubbard, Tyler Algier, and Brian Robinson at running back. Nico Collins, Mike Evans, Jalen Waddle, Parker Washington is his 4. Jalen Naylor, Deebo Samuel, Tank Dell, and Cooper Kupp. He has a 2-5-8-3 build. Read that again. Nico Collins, Mike Evans, Jalen Waddle, Parker Washington, Jalen Naylor, Deebo Samuel, Tank Dell, and Cooper Kupp at receiver, with George Kittle, Travis Kelce, and Dalton Schultz at tight end. So really balanced. Tight end room is super nice. Parker as your 4 is fine. I like Naylor. Deebo has some upside depending on where he signs. Cooper Kupp, I like that in a sit and go. And then Chuba as your 3, Bijan, Breece Hall, Trevor Lawrence, Brock Purdy. This is a pretty balanced team. This is a solid B. I think the build is the best part. I don't dig some of the players. Mostly the Parker Washington, Jalen Naylor, Deebo, like the bottom part of the receiver, but you hit the build with 8 receivers. So it's an A for build. I'm going to give it a B total. What do we think about this team? It's the 2 spot right here, the Bijan team. Brian says B+. I do like this team. I'm going to give it a solid B. I mean, every position group is pretty steady. So maybe I'm a little low on this one, but it's a really good team. B+ from Keith, B+, solid B. We have a lot of good grades. If Mouth or Rob of the Fanatics pick it, book the fucking ticket. Damn straight. You're also going to get Mouth's NFL game bets, and Mike Storey is going to be giving us his college bets. Mike Storey is a big college football fan. He crushes every year. I think he was like 68% against the spread last year, even higher than my prop bets, but he had a lot lower volume. He was doing 3 picks or so. But yeah, you're going to get 3 different ways to bet, and, give them a little, if you want to give them a couple weeks to prove their worth. Mine is all documented. You're getting a winner there, and I do trust Mouth in his NFL game picks. He generally picks underdogs at the money line and hits those over 50%. So, and Mouth did pick Knicks in 5. So, Jedi, yeah, this is a good team. We have a lot of B's grades for this team. I got a B with your hardcore dudes. I'm happy. Yeah, I mean, again, any B grade, anything above like a C with 9 of us in this draft is going to be a ringing endorsement, because none of our teams are going to be as good as they would be if we were drafting alone with all these idiots on Underdog, because there's a lot of dumb people drafting Underdog, drafting 5 quarterbacks and shit like that. All right, let's move on let's go to my squad since I have the 3rd pick. We have Jamar Chase. That's the Jamar Chase team. We have Jalen Hurts and Malik Willis at quarterback. Little thin there. David Montgomery, Quinshon Judkins, Blake Corum, Chris Rodriguez, and Jordan James. Jamar Chase, Devonta Smith, DK Metcalf, Xavier Worthy, Khalil Shakir, Trey Tucker, Ryan Flournoy, Adonai Mitchell, and Torrey Horton, with Brock Bowers and TJ Hawkinson. So when you take Brock Bowers, the team is always going to look a little thinner because you're essentially losing out on a 2nd or 3rd round pick. In this case, it was the end of the 2nd round. I don't hate him there. I prefer him more in a sit and go than I would a tournament, because it's really hard to stack Brock Bowers. I'm not taking Kirk Cousins, and I don't know about Mendoza when he's even playing. Running back room is an issue. David Montgomery, Quinshon Judkins, Blake Corum, Chris Rodriguez. That's a decent 4. Jordan James, a little thin there. I do have 9 receivers. DK as my 3, not great. Xavier Worthy and Khalil Shakir, though, solid 4 and 5. Trey Tucker is my 6. Flournoy is my 7. So I really stacked the back end of this receiver room. But Jalen Hurts and Malik Willis, I don't know, man. It's not my favorite, but this is a Brock Bowers team, so I do have that weekly floor and upside there at tight ends. I do really trust David Montgomery. I guess I'm really big on David Montgomery, and I'm really high on Quinshon Judkins, and obviously my Blake Corum love. But I think it's a little riskier than I wanted to go for a sit and go, right? Now, I do have a stack of Devonta Smith and Jalen Hurts, but Mouse says C, B-, B-, C. It's I don't know. It's not my favorite team. Again, I got definitely got poached on a few picks there, in particular from Dakota and Super Beast. God damn it! Oh, Team Money says A. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I love Monty. This is Monty is perfect in these sit and goes. Let's go to the next team here. Dakota at the 4 spot with the Puka team. We have Josh Allen, Daniel Jones, and Deshaun Watson, Travion Henderson, Jadarian Price, JCM, Tajay Spears, Emmett Johnson. That is a questionable running back room. Puka Nacua, Drake London, Ladd McConkey, Cortland Sutton, Josh Downs, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Travis Hunter, Harold Fannin, Eli Stowers, and Cade Otton. So the 3-5-7-3 build, I feel like you could have got away without taking Cade Otton if you'd taken a little bit better at tight end 2. I guess you took Deshaun Watson because you have Daniel Jones, but you have Josh Allen. So I just don't know why you took 3 and 3. You got to go 2 out of one of those, right? And the running back room's an issue. That is the biggest problem here, is the running back room. So we have a C, we have a B+ from Keith, we have a B from Brian. I do like the top 3 receivers. Like Ladd is your 3. I like Cortland Sutton. Josh Downs is your 5. Wan'Dale, and then Travis Hunter. So that's nice. Harold Fannin was picked at value, which I feel like is a good value because he's going at pick 100. I'm going to go C+ in this team because of the build. I just don't see why you took Deshaun Watson when you have Josh Allen. I just don't see it. Dakota says D+. He really hates this team. I don't hate it that much because this wide receiver room will carry you, but it's the running back room. It's Price. Now, you got Price 10 picks after ADP, but ADP is shifting on him because of the Zach Charbonnet news where you essentially got him at value. I think he'll settle around pick 70. But value on Henderson – you got 2 rookie running back there in Emmett Johnson, Tajay Spears. So it's not my favorite team. I wish you would just reinforce the wide receiver or running back room. I think both. I think this would be if this was a 2-6-8-2 team, I would like it more. Let's go to Super Beast team, who I'm going to like this team because he definitely got a couple players that I am very high on. So Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Aaron Rodgers, Ashton Genty, Javonte Williams, Rashad White, Keaton Mitchell, Damon Claiborne, A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin, DJ Moore, Jordan Addison, Michael Pittman, Casey Concepcion, Jalen Knoll, Hunter Henry, A.J. Barner, Pat Freiermuth. So the 3 tight ends makes a lot of sense when you waited to 150. I think I would have just been fine with Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert on this team. Personally, I think you needed one more running back. The receivers are fine. DJ is your 3. Addison is your 4. Pittman is your 5. Concepcion and Knoll. I wish you had not taken Aaron Rodgers. You picked him 10 pick ahead of ADP. You need another running back because you have Rashad White as your 3, who's a fine floor play. Keaton Mitchell and Damon Claiborne. So, yeah, I like the quarterback room with Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert. I think that's all you needed, man. So this, I'm going to ding this one a little bit based on your build, but I do like a lot of the players you took. So I'm going to go C+, B-, probably B- range in this team. B- because I do like the players, but that's also me being biased. I don't love the build. I don't like 3 quarterbacks, 3 tight ends. I really don't like it. B+, A. So we have some C+ from Jake, C+ from Mouth, C to C+ from Derek, B- from Jake. It's in that range. We have to move on to Hetter's team, who already said B from Steven. Thank you, Steven. Hetzer already said this team's a D-, I think. So let's see what he thinks, what we think. So Hetzer had the 7th pick, the St. Brown team. We have Matt Stafford and Baker Mayfield at quarterback. We have Derrick Henry, Travis Etienne, Cam Scatterbo, Tyrone Tracy, and Mike Washington. I dig the quarterbacks. I dig the running backs. St. Brown, Devontae Adams, Jordan Tyson, Chris Godwin, Jaden Reed, Jalen McMillan, Jerry Jeudy, Keyshawn Boutte, with Dallas Goedert, Juwan Johnson, and Colby Parkinson. Dude, I kind of like this team. I mean, the build is right. This is a really good build. Three at that you waited at tight end. You took 3. I like all those 3. I think you got a little caught up in stacking. And again, we don't need to stack in these. We don't really prefer to stack too much in these sit and goes. Hector, this is not nearly as bad of a team as you thought. This is in the C+ range, B- range. I like this team. The running back room is great. And I don't like Jordan Tyson as a 3, but Chris Godwin, Jaden Reed, Jalen McMillan, that's really good. I think you just got a little caught up in stacking to Baker, right? And Stafford. Like, we're not stacking as much in these because there's no tournament, right? So that's a little bit, you got some, you reached on some guys, I think, for the stack when, like, specifically Chris Godwin, 10 picks ahead of ADP. But, yeah, it's not a bad team, man. I don't know why you're panicking about this team. That means that you're getting, Hetcher's a little new to this, so that's a good sign that you hate your team, and we actually think it was better than you thought it was. Very good sign, Hetzer. Oh, whoops. Let's see. Whoops, I just exited out of this. We have to go to Jake's team, who, is always drafting at the 7 spot or the 8 spot. So we're going to get to Jake's team here. He is the Christian McCaffrey, Chase Brown team. I'm curious to look at Mouth's team because Mouth got JSN falling to him at 9. So this better be a banger for Mouth. Let's go to Jake's team first. Lamar Jackson and Jared Goff, both at ADP. Like that. CMC, Chase Brown, Ramondre Stevenson, Isaiah Pacheco, Zach Charbonnet, and Nick Singleton. Very well-rounded room. I love Stevenson as a 3. Pacheco's going to get some work. Charbonnet as your 5 and Singleton as your 6. It's like they all have their roles. You know how you have like stereotypes? You just judge someone. Like you're stereotyping this running back room properly. Stevenson's a 3. Pacheco's a 4. Charbonnet is a nice upside 5. And Singleton is a nice X factor there. Chris Olave, Luther Burden, Marvin Harrison, Rashid Shaheed, Isaac Tesla, Elijah Surratt. 20 picks ahead of ADP for Surratt. That was for the stack. Malik Washington and Tyquan Thornton. I like the Tyquan Thornton pick. I love the Rashid Shaheed pick. Sam Laporta and Mark Andrews. So this is an interesting team because I kind of like the team and you stacked a lot. So again, don't really need to stack and sit and goes, but you didn't really reach for the stacks. You reach for the tight end stacks a little bit. 8 picks early on Laporta, 13 picks early on Andrews. But it can go nuclear. This is a well-rounded team, man. I don't see an issue with either position. I think Shaheed as your 4 is kind of an issue, but I love Shaheed, Tesla, Surratt. So the wide receivers are a little light. I'm a big fan of Marv, Luther at his ADP. I'm going to go solid B on this team. I really like. I love the quarterback room. Like the running back room. The wide receiver room is the only one I have an issue with, but you fit the bill. 2, 6, 8, 2. You have 8 of them. That should work out. Laporta and Andrews are fucking solid. So I like this team, Jake. You made it work. Let's go to Mouth squad here. Mouth is sitting at the 9 spot, and he got JSN. at 9. That is wacky and wild stuff. A lot of people like this team. B minus to B, C plus from Brian. I did reach for tight ends. I didn't realize stacking wasn't really needed. Well, it's not that it's not needed. It's just stacking is used in the 1 week sample size of when you get to the bigger, like specifically the championship round, like you're against 400 teams. There's no playoffs in this. This is a sit and go. So the stacking is going to give you a lot of really high weekly upside, but this is more of we're going for the most points for the whole year, right? Like regular season is all that matters here. That's why stacking is not quite as important in a sit and go as it would be in a big tournament. Because also you got to think about the semifinal. You're up against a league of 12 people. You have to get first. So you need those stacks to get first. You're just trying to get the most points possible in here. But I don't hate the stacks you had. So I got you, Jake. Mouse team. This better be a banger because you got a gift here at JSN at 9. Jaden Daniels, Sam Darnold, and Geno Smith at quarterback. That is a really nice quarterback room. You got Sam Darnold, 12 picks after ADP. Kenneth Walker, Bucky Irving, Jalen Warren, Tony Pollard, J.K. Dobbins, Kenneth Gainwell. Kenneth Gainwell is your fucking 6. Oh. Quarterback room, really good. Running back room, really good. Jackson, Smith and Jigba, Zay Flowers, Garrett Wilson, Jaden Higgins, Deshaun Stribling, and Ted Hurst with Jake Ferguson, Chick Okonkwo, and Greg Dulcich. So, man, I don't know why you took 6 receivers. I love your running back room. This needs to be a 5 running back. I mean, maybe not a 5 running back team. You should have probably just not taken Greg Dulcich. I think you should have rolled with Jake Ferguson and Okonkwo. You need 7 receivers because Jaden Higgins is your 4. Stribling is a giant question mark there in San Fran. And Ted Hurst is 4th in the depth chart, right? So they better stay healthy. And I love JSN, Zay Flowers, and Garrett Wilson. That's exactly what Derek's saying. It gets thin very quick. It's still a really good team. It's just like risky. And if your wide receivers get hurt or Garrett Wilson goes back to kind of being a pumpkin a little bit, JSN and Zay Flowers will carry you. But this had a chance to be an A. Like in A in this draft with 9 of us in here, this had a chance to be an A, but I can't give it an A with your weak wide receiver depth. I know he's thinking he could just play a tight end at flex, but it's not like you have the best tight ends in the world. I like Chick Okonkwo where you got him. I feel like the back end of the draft got away from you a little bit. So I agree. I'm going to go B+, just because this quarterback room is elite with Jaden Daniels, Sam Darnold, and Geno Smith. Like, this is going to be probably the best quarterback room because you have 3 of them in the league. And then the running back room is really strong with Kenneth Walker, Bucky Irving, Jalen Warren. And you have a lot of guys to fill in, a lot of floor guys. I just wish, you can't go 6 and have Higgins, as much as I don't mind Higgins, Stribling, and Ted Hurst. We want to hire floor players there. You need a Wan'Dale Robinson on this team. If you had Wan'Dale Robinson as your 4, right? Or if you had Wan'Dale and Jaden Higgins and then Ted Hurst, okay, now you could probably rock 6. But that's the issue. This was close to being an A, but I can't give it an A with the build. And then we have who's next here? We'll give Montana. Are you still in here, Montana? Let me know if you're in here. If you're in here, I will grade your team. If not, we're going to go to Sunday Thunder. Sunday Thunder with the 12th pick here. Patrick Mahomes and C.J. Stroud at quarterback. Saquon Barkley. All right, I'll get to your team next, Montana. We have Patrick Mahomes, C.J. Stroud at quarterback. Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Rico Dowdle, Dylan Sampson, Braylon Allen, Kamani Vidal. This is a room right here, man. I love the Braylon Allen pick. Kamani Vidal's fine. Probably unnecessary. I guess we'll see what you have later. But Mahomes and C.J. Stroud, a little weaker there, but I do believe in the bounce back for both of them. CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins, Roma Dunze, Matthew Golden, Romeo Dubs, Jalen Coker, Stephon Diggs, and Malachi Fields with Tyler Warren and Gunnar Helm. A fine 2 tight end room. I wish you had a little higher upside second guy, or just, if you had a Mark Andrews or something, I would prefer this, but I think you can work this. This is relying a lot on Tyler Warren. This probably should have been a better tight end, but I like the team. This is a really good build. And one of these needed to be 3. I think one of the quarterback or tight end room needed to be 3, probably the tight end room. But other than that, this is a really strong team. This is a B to B+ team. It's hard for me to give A's out because all our teams are pretty good. I put a crazy man build in the Discord, had to experiment. I will read that off for you, Francis. By the way, shout out Francis, the most recent community member. We appreciate you, brother. It's really putting a lot on CJ Stroud's plate, like he says. But if he comes through, yeah, it's a good team. This is a really good team. B range for show. One of the better teams we've read. Let's get to Montana's team here with James Cook and Marion Hampton. We have picking from the 11th spot. Jackson Dart, Jordan Love from Fernando Mendoza at quarterback, James Cook and Marion Hampton, Kyron Williams, Jonathan Brooks, and Marshawn Lloyd. At running back, pretty good room. Kyron Williams at 3. You got him 6 picks after ADP. Jonathan Brooks is a nice 4th running back. You get a couple weeks to marinate. Maybe he gets in a 50-50 split or takes it over. Emeka Igbigbu, Christian Watson, Carnell Tate, Omar Cooper, Trey Harris, Calvin Ridley, and Darnell Mooney with Tucker Kraft, Isaiah Likely, and Kenyon Sadiq. So first impressions is I probably would have just stuck with Tucker Kraft and Isaiah Likely in an 18-round draft. Sadiq is a luxury pick. And I look at your receivers, and I see Omar Cooper as your 4 with Trey Harris, Calvin Ridley, and Darnell Mooney. That is a little thin. If you had just taken one more, there needs to be an 8-receiver team. I don't even hate Ibuka at 1. I don't hate Ibuka, Watson, Carnell Tate. That's fine. But you need someone in between. You need someone in between Tate and Cooper. This is another. Again, I keep on bringing up Wan'Dale Robinson. These sit and goes. You're not looking for upside. You're looking for safety. I would have liked that. I would have liked a guy like, if you want to take some upside with, Matthew Golden or Xavier Worthy, someone else that can give you big plays there as your 4. And then you could have skipped out on Kenyon Sadiq. You could have, or traded out Mooney for the 3rd tight end. But I like the quarterback room. I love the running back room. So you're probably not going to rely. You're not going to need a flex from wide receiver very often because your Isaiah Likely is essentially your wide receiver 4, and Tucker Kraft's elite, and you have Kyron Williams as your running back 3. So the way when I look at it like that, I don't hate the wide receivers as much because more times than not, this is only a 3 wide receiver team. But I'm not an Omar Cooper guy. I love Trey Harris, but question mark there. Calvin Ridley is a good pick. Darnell Mooney is a big question mark for me. So I'm going to go B- in the squad just because of the build. I wish you just had another receiver. And I said, I don't think you need Kenyon Sadiq. I really don't think you need Kenyon Sadiq in this team. But yeah, it's a pretty solid squad. Let's see. Do I have? Let's see. We have 21 likes. We've got 2 subs. We've got 23 likes and subs on this video. We need 7 more, guys. 7 more. I'm going to hang around, answer some more questions, and we will pop in another draft if we get 9 more likes or 7 more likes and subs combined. I will hop in. We'll do another sit and go because I am having a blast. This is about 4 hours in. We did a 2-hour show before this. I will hop in another draft. Yeah, I hate getting off at 25 people watching, so we can just chat a little bit. And it's just funny. I told you, me and Nico did that awesome segment, the undervalued offensive segment. There were 6 people watching. I think it's because a lot of people expect me to be on at 10 p.m. or 10:30, and we started at 9 p.m. Central. That might be the answer, but that was a little discouraging because we are getting into June, right? Like mid-June. And it was such a great segment. Nico is fucking the GOAT. So kind of sucked there, but now we have a lot of people in here. And I said, anyone signs up for the community right now, we'll do another draft. And that's not the only reason to sign up for the community, guys. But right there, sign up, and we'll do another draft. Get us some comments in here, and we'll talk it out a little bit. Jedi has a good point here. I don't know who the fave is here. We all did pretty good. I mean, yeah, we had Hetzer in here whining and crying, love you, Hetzer, about how bad his team was. And your team actually graded out pretty well. It was pretty nice. So what team did we not like? I mean, Dakota's team, he hated it more. That was probably one of the weaker teams, but Dakota's a fucking genius, and usually he drafts really good teams. So I think it was bad for Dakota, but it wasn't really a bad team. All I have to say is George Hazy, Waste Management, all the other guys, we didn't look at their teams, but all the other 3 guys that weren't in the community or in this chat drafting, y'all screwed. There's no way. If one of those 3 guys getting the money, we should be ashamed of ourselves. Ashamed of ourselves. We can't let that happen. So they all got screwed here. Yeah, Jake, I always put it in the Discord. So the only nights we will go early during the season, especially, will be Tuesday, and the non-prime time. We always go on live right after the games end, Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night. During the season, it's going to be usually 10 p.m. if it's not a primetime game or Sunday. But my boy Nico wakes up at 4 a.m. for work, so I want to start earlier those days. But always just check the Discord. I always add everybody. I always post the streams in there. So yeah, I know it's kind of weird to see me at 9 o'clock. That's not usually my forte. I like to go a little later so I can hang out with the wife before she goes off to bed. But sometimes we go a little early, but all good. Got to make my boy Nico happy and get him some sleep because, you know, all my co-hosts work for free. So unfortunately I can't afford to pay them. We love hanging out and talking ball. So we'll see how long they stick away, because I do ask a decent amount of them to prep a little bit for the show and all that kind of shit. Brian, I know a couple guys, DB ball out in there. They're always mocking. We just do these underdogs, but in terms of the community, there's always guys in there to connect. A lot of these guys have connected and are playing video games together, you know, talking about soccer or whatever other sports they like, movies, all that kind of shit. So you could always find someone to mock draft with on there. Me personally, I do way too many of these underdog drafts to do mock drafts. I don't believe in them. I'm not saying they're not a good exercise, but I want to draft money leagues because I spend a lot of time drafting, and I feel like that's where the value is at. I want to win the money. And I feel like I've done so many of these fucking so many drafts. So 7 more likes needed, gentlemen. 7 more. Exactly, Jake. You get a couple guys drafting kickers in the 3rd round. Actually, fucking hilarious story. Me and, the show started off 5 years ago, and it was me and my buddy Rob. We called it Rob Squared. That's the R2 on the hat. And we streamed our first redraft together on Fantrax. It was a $500 league. And someone took Justin Tucker in the 3rd round, and we were streaming the draft, right? We had our screen share on, and we were had the camera facing us. There was 2 views, and someone took Justin Tucker in the 3rd round in a $500 redraft league, and we just flipped. It was 2 picks before us, and we didn't know. You were talking about mock drafts, people trolling. Bro, this was insane. I just throw away your fucking money. Why don't you? And we just freaked out. I could post that. I'll find the video, and I will post that in the Discord. It was 4 years ago. And needless to say, that team won 2 games that season, and the rest was fucking history. A-Rod in the 1st round. You know what? In home leagues, quarterbacks always go higher, and a lot of that has to do with scoring. A lot of times there's more bonuses. There's 300-yard passing bonuses and shit like that. But I think we've gotten so wise and quarterbacks so deep. In a 1-quarterback league, Josh Allen in the 3rd sometimes feels like a stretch. I don't think it's a stretch. I don't do it very often, but there's just so many guys later, and the scarcity at the other positions is the wide receivers. It's a great time for wide receivers, but the target share is spread out so much. Tight ends, they're running a lot of 12 personnel. There's not what we used to have. We used to have a lot of guys getting 140, 150 targets a year. We're just not getting that anymore. So, you look at the draft board right here, once you get past George Pickens, I think Devonta Smith is kind of the end of in my mind, guys I trust as my wide receiver 1. Rashee Rice, you have the questions, injury plus legal stuff. Chris Olave, coming off a career year. Now you have Jordan Tyson there. Do we know Shuck's good? Zay Flowers, run heavy offense. Last year was a wide receiver 1, but it's been 1 year. Malik Neighbors, injury questions. Ibuka, 825 yards is his Vegas line. Do we trust that he was, was that first half him or was the second half him? T. Higgins, number 2 on his team. Ted McMillan, 2nd-year player paired with Bryce Young. Garrett Wilson, a lot of more target competition there. Never been a wide receiver 1. Never even been a high-end wide receiver 2. Luther Burden is a projection, right? Terry McLaurin, I love him, but Jaden Daniels hasn't stayed healthy, and McLaurin's coming off injury-riddled year. Ladd McConkey, awful year last year. Mike Evans, old as dirt. Jamison Williams, number 2 on his team. Boom bust. Jalen Waddle, I can continue. There's only so many guys we trust. So good night, Jobin. Keith, I'm going to send you that merch, bro. So I'll text you in the Discord and we'll figure it out. But I have your address and everything, so I might show up at your house too with it on. Well, wide receiver start. Bryant's been really smart because everyone's going running back now. So it's one of those, the old saying is when everyone else zigs, we zag. And that is kind of where the value's at, right? Like that's the value is everyone is taking running back. And if that's the case, if you take running back, you're going to be lower down the totem pole there. And you're going to be kind of forced to have a worse running back than the team next to you. So wide receiver is the better play. At least it has been. Damn straight, brother. Brian, I don't like Garrett going over McLaurin. Well, McLaurin for me, I still have Garrett Wilson ranked ahead because I'm high on Garrett Wilson. I have him like back-to-back. I have Terry McLaurin 10 spots ahead of his wide receiver rank. And I have Garrett Wilson a little higher because I love the player. But in terms of ADP, Garrett Wilson is typically going a full round ahead of Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin goes to the 4-5 turn, where Garrett Wilson goes to the 3-4 turn. So ADP would say that's the way it should go. I don't agree with it. I think they should go back-to-back. I think Terry McLaurin should go like Terry McLaurin and Tet McMillan. Like I want Terry McLaurin over Tet McMillan personally. I've seen it. I trust it. I trust Jaden Daniels much more than Tet. I think I think Coker is going to have a giant uptick there. I just don't trust that offense. That schedule is tough. Also, the Panthers defense is revamped. Like Devin Lloyd is the man. And the passing volume is never that high there to begin with. So do I really trust it? I don't. I like Tet McMillan at ADP too. I just like the other guys a little bit more. Last year I only did 15 underdog drafts, but a guy with Geno Smith, Justin Fields, and Aaron Rodgers won one of the leagues. How? He must have had a really, really stacked running back room because Geno Smith was nothing. Also got hurt. Justin Fields was benched by week 7, and Aaron Rodgers was pretty awful the whole year. Ramondre Stevenson should go before Henderson. Doesn't make sense. Stevenson is even the better pass blocker. He was a starter last season as well. Stevenson should go first. Trust me, I'm the biggest Travion Henderson hater ever. All that being said, there's something about younger players and upside and juice, and Travion Henderson has that. He's also not a very good football player, at least at this stage of his career. I've been a hater since he came out of OSU. I thought he was overdrafted. I thought he was overdrafted last year in fantasy. I told everyone Stevenson will be the guy when he's back healthy. And even I, in my wildest dreams, did not anticipate what I saw in the playoffs. That being said, they should go back-to-back. I feel like they should go in the same round. I would probably draft Henderson ahead of Stevenson, but not by much. I think that Stevenson, let's see, in this draft, Henderson went to 5-4, and Stevenson went to 7-8. I think I want Henderson at the 6-3 to 6-4, and I want Stevenson at the 7-2, for instance. So I still want the younger back, the upside back there, but it should be really close. It should be close. And I would not blame you if you want Stevenson over him. I just think there's something in the fact that they took Henderson really high in the draft. I'm not going to have a lot of shares of either of these guys. I'll definitely have more Stevenson shares because I think they should be drafted closer, and people seem to love Travion Henderson. Dude, Terry McLaurin was a top 5 receiver because he had 13 touchdowns, right? He had to be. Let's look up the numbers. Terry McLaurin. It was like 80-something catches, 1,300 yards, something like that. Let's see. It was 82 catches, 1,100 yards, and 13 touchdowns. That is definitely a wide receiver one. I mean, 13 touchdowns. Somehow the yards were actually pretty low, only 13.4 yards per average, so many deep shots. But the upside here is Terry McLaurin's never been used creatively. They just line him up at X and say, go win. This year, I think they're going to use him a little bit smarter, and that's all he needs. And he doesn't even need that to beat his ADP. That's the way he could be a top 5, top 8 fantasy receiver. I really do believe in that. Well, Vrabel loves Stevenson and loves Diana Rossini. We all know that. Which is wild that Stevenson had all the fumble issues and they stuck with him, and then he didn't fumble at all down the stretch. So I still think it's a 50-50 split, right? And it's who's getting the goal line carries. It should be Stevenson. He's 235 pounds. Who is trusted in pass protection? It's Stevenson because they showed that. The juice is with Henderson. Like, he is a player, and as much as I said he didn't earn those 80-yard or 70-yard touchdowns last year, they were kind of broken plays. Stevenson does not have that in his game. So the juice is with Henderson. I understand that. That works for fantasy. I like a guy that can score from 70 yards out. But if Stevenson's getting the goal line work, that kind of negates the long, the big play potential from Travion Henderson. And that is a really good comment, Derek. Henderson is a much better pick in best ball than redraft because you don't know when he's going to break these long runs. I would agree, and I think Stevenson's a better pick in redraft, even if you take ADP out of it. My 3-quarterback build is kind of crazy, but that was the point. I found new teams that won with the approach. I am making multiple builds and sending it 150 plus times all in. Damn straight, Francis. Someone said they sent me a team is it you, Francis, that sent me a team on the Discord? I can read that off. Where was it at? Rate my lineup. Let's see. Francis, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Jordan Love. That's a lot at quarterback, but good value. I love. Genty, James Cook, Rico Dowdle, Tyron Tracy, Kamani Vidal, T. Higgins, DJ Moore, Matthew Golden, Shaheed, Naylor, Tucker, Tesla, Brazel, Tucker Kraft, and Gunnar Helm. That's a pretty good pick. That's a pretty good team, man. The receivers aren't as bad as I thought they'd be because you have 2 stud running backs, Rico Dowdle in the 8th, 7th round. And then the quarterbacks are elite, man. So I'm a big Shaheed guy. I'm a big Golden guy in best ball. And then having both Vegas receivers, like this is a wild team. I would have just not taken Jordan Love. I mean, because how often is he going to hit your lineup? Somehow you pulled that off pretty well. Team 10 actually has a pretty badass team. Brian Thomas, Drake May, Harvey. Yeah, Harvey is a 3. Woody Marks is a 4. Kamara as a 5. Running back is a little thin, but he's relying on JT and A-Chain. Yeah, I don't hate it. His 4 is Alec Pierce. His 5 is Denzel Boston. So it has no depth. This team has 0 depth, right? Like it's after the top 2 running backs and top 3 receivers. The problem is if this is a sit and go, it's not a tournament, and you have Malik Neighbors and Alec Pierce in the same team. If they both miss the first 2 weeks of the season, or even if Alec Pierce is slow and he starts week 1 and Neighbors misses 4 weeks, this team is not competing with ours. But yeah, I don't hate it. It's just a very, very top heavy, which isn't the best in Team 10. Well, Mouth, you're not funding the operation. I'm not allowing Mouth to fund the operation again. Please don't do that. You've done enough. And we've also already been on here for over 4 hours and 18 minutes. So I'm fine either way, just talking a little bit. Like I said, if anyone signs up for the community, we will draft. That's the easiest way. Mouth has done it too much. He has done it too much, guys. Also, I only have $5 in my account right now. I mean, I have money to load it up eventually. But let's see. Stevenson goal line, catches passes, and gets 15+ carries a game. That's the money, right? You get the pass catching. It's not elite pass catching, but you get the goal line and you get the trusted carries. That is what we're looking for in fantasy, especially in the 6th round, dude. It's all good, man. I ain't gonna bag. We've had a hell of a night and we've had a hell of a season so far. I think I'm already up to $350 or $400 in best ball. My budget is 1,000 because I like to have at least 5 times as much in redraft as best ball. I always say this. Everyone should do that if they're trying to win money. And I think I'll have 6 G's tied up right now with the leagues I'm already going to be in. And I will add a couple more. Brian, appreciate you, dude. Appreciate Brian. I really hope, Brian, I've seen you in here. You ask good questions. I do appreciate you in general. Hopefully you consider joining the community because it is the place to be. These people are awesome. Seems like you're awesome. And I appreciate your number isn't Brian 420. Remember how there was that stretch when everyone had 420 in their name, which is funny. Like, I was a huge stoner for years, but it just seems like one of those like cheap things, like 420, bro, which is funny. But appreciate you, man. Like I said, I hope you consider joining the community. And like I said, we're going to be dominating all year. If you play a lot of redrafts, also play some redrafts with us, guys. We have a best ball league open with 2 spots left. It's going to be on Sleeper, a $50 best ball tournaments with all the community members. We have a couple redrafts that are $100 buy-in, a super flex, and a 12-team deep league. So Definitely. Yeah, there it is. Also 69. 69 Francis 420. Now that's doubling. That's a double douchebag. That's like wearing aviators, a fedora, and sandals with socks. That is exactly what that would say to me. 69 Francis 420. That's your name. You have that on your shirt while you have a fedora, aviators, and sandals with socks. Now, any of those individually are fine. Aviators, fedoras, or sandals with socks. You can't do the triple. You can't do the triple. That is about as douchey as it comes. And we don't want to do those things.
How about a little bottle of spermicidal lube, too?
And one little bottle of spermicidal lube?
Yeah, one little bottle of spermicidal lube.
Evan, that's psycho shit, man.
It's not.
It's like Charles Manson shit. What do you think Becca's gonna be psyched that you brought a bottle of lube? Oh, Evan, thank you for bringing that lube for my pussy. I never would have been able to handle your fucking 4-inch dick inside my pussy without that gigantic bottle of lube.
I love his reaction. He's like, that's psycho shit, man. He's like, no, it's not. Like, it is kind of psycho shit. So, God, 6'7" is, I don't even know what the hell that is. 69 at least is something. It's an awesome position that is overrated for sure, but 6'7" is nothing. It means nothing. It is nothing. I don't understand what the hell it is. Thanks, Jake. I appreciate that. He says your content is great, Rob. Drafts are always fun. There should be more people in here. You need to hire a really good marketing advisor. Yeah, man. I do, but that requires cash flow, and I've already invested so much. Not saying I'm ever giving up on this thing. I'm kind of just going the grassroots campaign, which word of mouth, and then, and I do like the grassroots campaign because I know every single person in the community. I like the slow burn. I don't need to make this it's a full-time job for me. I don't need it to support myself for about another year because I do have, a wife that is helping me out. But there's a breaking point where it's like, it's hard for me to do this, put in 50 hours a week to make $700 a month. That's just, and I live in Chicago. So it's like, that's not getting it done, but it's all for the greater good, guys. And I have very high hopes. And I think a lot of the high hopes is a lot of you new people and a lot of the people that have stuck with me have proven that, like I'm doing something right because you guys are watching every show, not everyone, but a lot of you guys are watching 3 hours a night in June. And like, that's not just for the football content, which is big, but there's not a lot of football content to go around in March, for instance, if you guys are all tuning in. I think you guys are buying into the community. You're buying into the co-host. You're buying into myself and all of you guys. So that's the key, man, is authenticity. And a lot of the guys, I see the fantasy footballers, which is the biggest show, right? Is I don't know. They bitch about like, dude, they're like, we got a fucking 3-day weekend coming up. I'm like, you guys do an hour show once a day, hanging out with your buddies, talking football. That's not, you have people for marketing. You have people for editing. Like I'm doing all that shit. So like, I'm actually putting the work in. They're not putting any work in. They have stat guys like, and they're bitching about working 5 days a week, an hour a day. That just comes off as like snobby, bro. Like appreciate what you have. I've been doing this show 5 years. For 4 years, I've been making $1. I was hanging out, drinking with my boys. I look forward to that time. So that is the thing. And it's like, that comes off as like, dude, gross on their end. We had Montana became a member of Fan. Montana, I appreciate you, dude. Are you still in here, Montana? I think he is. So I'm in a good mood. Typically, Fan is just a general support tier. I know that's what Jedi's in. But it says $5 tier is the Discord. I'm in Montana. I'm going to hook you up with the Discord access for the $2 tier because I appreciate any support I can get. And I'm going to do another draft. We're going to do another draft just because I'm in a good mood. And there's some people in here. I appreciate all you guys. I'm not picky. I just want to build the community, regardless if it's $2 a month, $5 a month. Let's get this. Mason Grind from Fantasy Flock is better than fantasy footballers. Yeah, oh, for sure. But my only problem with Mason is all he does is drafts, and there's not a lot of content coming out, and it's fine. Like he's good. He's just it seems a little pretentious to me, and he has every reason to be, guys. He is on top of the world. He claims he's won all this money on. I'm sure he's won. I know he's won some bigger tournaments. I have not seen the actual receipts. He just put it in a spreadsheet, but yeah, he knows ball. It's just very vanilla. I need some more personality out of Mason. He'll just talk about his his marathons he runs and stuff. It's fine. He's very PC. And obviously he's doing something better than me because he is the class of what we're doing here. Now, this is not a best ball channel. This is a football channel. We just like to do the content of best ball. He only does best ball. Mason's solid, man. I'm not trying to say Mason's – I'm jealous of Mason. He has 1,000 people in his fucking streams. I have 15. Like, you got to start somewhere, though, man. And I think I can host a solo show better than Mason because I can interact with people a lot better. It's going to be funny. We're going to talk on some tangents. And also, I have guests come on my show all the time that are fucking top notch. We like talking real ball, but I think I might be white trash.
Just accept the fact that you're white trash, all right? Take a look at yourself. You can't do backflips. You don't know karate. You're white trash.
You're white trash too, dude. Look at those shorts are white trash.
Do not call the shorts white trash. Dennis told me about these shorts, and they're not white trash. Look at this. Look at this. Look what I can do. What is white trash about that? Don't call me white trash.
I feel like if I had that kind of mobility, I'd be capable of pretty much anything.
All right, let's take a look at what we have here and what we can do. Since we have a lot of people still wanting to draft, I believe. Let's take a look at what's available for us. Is there anything in the sit and go that we could fill up here? That's a slow draft. The $5 draft. How many are in here? How many want to draft with us? I don't know how much football he watches either, Jedi. I know that the counselor doesn't watch any football. The thing is, Mason doesn't do a lot of redrafts, so it's like he's all about the preseason stuff, and like he definitely watches, dude. But I can tell you, I watch every game. I go back and I watch the all 22. Like I have, especially now that this is my life. Like I'm putting in a lot of hours watching film. Hopefully, Mouth is in here. At least 6. Let's join this sit and go. $3 sit and go again, and we should be able to fill this fucker, huh? That's the best way to get all of us in here. There's already 4 in here. I'm going to watch this thing just fill up, and hopefully Mouth comes back. This is the $3 sit and go, gentlemen. Someone post that in the chat so I can put it up. So post the $3 fast, $3 sit and go. And then we could have more people, if they hop in here, know what we're doing, if they're just tuning in or whatever. Yes, that's what we're doing. I'm sorry, Francis. After 30 years of Raider football, it's for the love of the game for me at this point. Hey, at least you're not a Browns fan, dude. I mean, or a Jets fan. That's for sure. You know what? The Lions were in that category for a long time. But, yeah, it's not been good for the Raiders. How old are you again, Francis? I think you said you're 36, right? Because you have not seen a good team in your lifetime. You saw Darius Hayward-Bay get drafted really high. You saw Henry Ruggs get drafted really high. You saw, your owner pass away, and who was very influential. But then you saw Mark Davis take over the team with that haircut. Oh, Mark Davis, like that dude should not be a manager ever. He's 37. Okay, first game was 98 Redskins Raiders. Yeah, man, there was a nice little run there. My original co-host, Rob, was Marcus Russell. Let's not mention that, Jake. My original co-host was the biggest Derek Carr fan, and that was a good team. Michael Crabtree, they were a good team, but they were they ever real contenders? I don't think so. I think we're filled. We have one more spot. So, Mouth, are you in here? Someone message Mouth in Discord. At Mouth in the Discord. There's one spot left. I know he wants to get in. So, get Mouth. Mouth, if you're in here, join. Maybe he's hearing us. He's just not typing. Francis, you're younger than me, bro. You're not old. We're not old. You're only as old as you feel. Okay, Mouth's in. I went to a Raiders playoff game. I mean, because it's been a long time since that. What year was that? Was that a Derek Carr? Derek Carr led him to the playoffs, right? Well, no, they had that run. They lost to the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl, right? That was the Gruden. That was Rich Gannon. Rich Gannon won an MVP for you guys, dude. So I'm at 9. Let's see. We have Montana at 3, Mouth at 4, Jedi at 6, Hetzer at 7, Sunday at 8. I am at 9. Jake is at 11. Jake, dude, why can't you get a top 6 pick? Is this just impossible? Like, now you're actually moving back. You're moving back towards the other end. God damn it. AFC Championship Game 2000 versus the Titans. Sorry, Derek. But you know what? No, not just sorry, because you're going to snipe my ass too, man. God damn it. Let's get this up here on my phone. Yeah, it's getting worse. At least you're going to get some different players in the 7 and 8 hole is where you live. That is your home, brother. That is your home. I'm at 9. I don't think I'm going to get JSN at 9 like Mouth did last time. Francis says, I still see Shannon Sharp running 96 yards in my nightmares as a kid. I still hear Shannon Sharp moaning and groaning from that tape he released with that girl. Remember that? That's pretty funny. Shannon Sharp making the craziest noises ever. And if you have not heard that, go check that out. Shannon Sharp sex tape. It is hilarious, dude. So I guess we're getting CeeDee Lamb, which is okay. And we should get some of our running backs here. There. Okay. Well, you know what? You guys have a decent future. I mean, Ashton Genty should be a pillar. Brock Bowers is a stud. Brock Bowers is like 22 years old, 23 years old. And then I'm a Mendoza guy. I think Mendoza's upside is a little limited. I don't think he's like Andrew Luck level like everyone's saying. But, yeah, Connor Cook. I remember Connor Cook. You guys have a chance. You guys have a chance. Not this year, of course, but in the future, I don't hate it. I really don't hate it. And we almost got Ashton Genty, and we're not going to get Ashton Genty. So we have to take a running back here, and it's going to be Devon Achane. I'm going to take him. I like him more in this format. I don't trust him playing the whole year. I think he has more of a chance than anyone to be shut down at the end of the year. So we'll take him here. I don't love this start, unfortunately. Montana, I'll hit you up with an email after this draft when the stream's over, and I'll get you an invite to the Discord. Let me see what it has listed for you. If it's an Apple ID, nope, it's Montana. I got you. I will send that to you as soon as I'm done, and you can get in the community, bro. Appreciate you. Brady's already turned that franchise around. It also helps that he has all the insider knowledge from being an announcer. So he's getting a lot of stuff. It's almost as much insider knowledge as Mike Vrabel had. You know what he was doing. He was having some fun with a reporter.
What's happening here?
That French animal bit my ear off!
Well, that's an absurd exaggeration. My apologies, Bidwell.
He look in our tent. He look at my woman. He saw her breast.
Her breast? You saw her breast?
I've said it before and I said it again. Any man who look on her will die.
All right. We are into the third round here. So what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us in this. 7 of 12. A little less crowded than it was the previous draft, but I trust us to win this sit and go. At least I want all of us, all community members here to be top 3. That's all I ask. And I'll be a happy man. We need a running back for sure. That would not be a bad pick. I cannot take Malik Neighbors in this format. No way, no how. And we could take this guy. All right, we have options here. There goes Rashee Rice, Kyron Williams, Javonte Williams. Oh, man. Fuck. All right, it's down to 2 players for me. And we're going to go ahead and take Josh Allen at ADP in a sit and go. I don't hate it. Give me that elite production from Josh. Allow me to go with a 2 quarterback build. Or, Brian, any receiver that's not Trey Tucker or Jalen Naylor or Dante Thornton or Jack Besh. I have probably been to Wrigley Field about 60 times, Francis. I am about an hour west of Chicago. So I used to go to about 10 Cubs games a year. I've seen concerts there. It's not the same. I mean, now it's just it's just really ritzy, man. And I just kind of am off baseball. But, yeah, I have Malik Neighbors at 40. God, I don't want to do it in a sit and go. I really don't. But there's a point where I think it's a good value here. I really do. We're going to do it. I hate doing it, but I feel like he was the best player available. I don't like Ladd McConkey. I obviously love Neighbors much more in a tournament, and I think that's fair value there, but we'll see. I just going to have to stack some. I think Josh Downs would be a good pairing. Terry McLaurin. I do have Terry McLaurin ranked ahead of Neighbors, but I have a lot of Terry. I'm fine with Neighbors. Thank you, Brian. I probably just ruined the start with Neighbors, but this is so early. I feel like this is bottomed out Neighbors. Like, I guess this is the question we need to ask ourselves. If we found out right now that Malik Neighbors was missing the first 4 weeks, right, where would we be drafting Malik Neighbors? Now you have the worry of him ramping up. Now you're not getting really full. Maybe you don't get him at all year full Malik Neighbors' health. But the wide receiver room there is old, and I like Malachi Fields. But it's not a lot of competition. It's really Isaiah Likely is his number 1 competition. Where are we ranking Malik Neighbors? Because that's kind of how I'm drafting him, and I feel like this is a fair spot. Because if Malik Neighbors was fully healthy, I think we all agree he would be in that Justin Jefferson range, the 1-2 turn. So missing 4 weeks, especially in redraft. I like him more in redraft because I can just start somebody else, right? A 4th round seems reasonable. It really does because it's baking in the downside, but it's also not really accounting for the upside of Malik Neighbors, which is a top 5 fantasy receiver. I just don't think he's going to fall any farther unless we know he's out the first half of the year. Like, there's still 2.5 months till the season starts. Like, we've seen guys make comebacks too quick. I also don't want him to come back too quick because then he might get hurt again. But I just feel like right here is fair value for the downside and the upside. Brian, how many redrafts have you done? Or are you talking about mock drafts? Like, you actually done money redrafts? Because that's degenerate shit, and I'm all for it. All right, 5 guys in the queue. What do we have here? Pick 57. That turf at MetLife is a joke, dude. There goes Devontae Adams. And we only have 4 guys in our queue. I only have 1 fucking running back. There goes Colson Loveland. Oh, 57. I might do something weird here. 14 teamers are tough, brother. They are tough. Man. Let's do something a little weird here. That's going to start off a quarterback run. I'm going to take 2 elite quarterbacks in a sit and go. And I don't love it. See if I can make it work. It's risky to do that with Malik Neighbors, but we're having fun here, and we're going to see how this team shakes out. Don't advise doing this. Don't do this at home, guys. But I trust my ability to draft later. And, yeah, I really do. I might do something else. How many leagues are you in, Brian? Is it just that one league? What I love about a 14-teamer is it's even if it's a $100 league, you have a lot more money. No, I am not taking Price. No way. I would take Price in the 7th round. So we have a couple of receivers we like, and we're going to take one of them. Man, Tyler Warren is juicy there. We're going to take Christian Watson. And then we'll figure out running back later. Brian, how many leagues are you in? Like, what do you usually play? Just that one? Because if you're looking for leagues, we have quite a bit of leagues in the community. We already have some to sign up for now. Like I said, it's all league safe. But there goes Tyler Warren. There goes Carnell Tate. Nice pick in Tyler Warren. I was going to take Tyler Warren, but I couldn't take a tight end and 2 early quarterbacks there. I'm interested to see how this works out because the quarterback room is going to be elite, and I'm only taking 2. So now it allows me to take 3 tight ends and still have an extra spot there. Or I could take 2 decent tight ends and have extra running backs. We need one of these running backs for sure to fall back.
Good! Tell me everything!
Okay, they were both here. They were both inside me. Eduardo was in my mouth and Luther was in my butt.
Oh my God, no, don't tell me everything. What? No, what?
Damn it, Bonnie!
Eduardo who?
Sanchez.
Holy shit, tell us more.
Then Luther went in Eduardo's butt for a while.
Tell us less. Tell us less.
Then they both completed on each other. I was left out of the finale.
2 leagues for Brian because he likes to be invested in his players and he doesn't like going against them in other leagues. That is pretty ideal because you know where you're at. You would hate my life because I played 36 leagues last year. I'm going to ramp that up to 40 redrafts this year because I have a lot of time on my hands and this is my fucking job. So I need to be more, I just do it because it's an investment for me. It's how I see it. But that gets even after 10 leagues, up to 10 leagues, you have a bunch of like crossover. It's so bad to where like I don't even know how much I'm against the 6th player I have. What it comes down to is last year my most owned players, like there's always 4 or 5 guys I plant my flag in, and I have in like 40 to 50%. Those are the guys that I care about because I know there's no way if I'm in 36 leagues, I have 12 shares of Chris Olave or 14 shares of Chris Olave that I'm going to be against him as much as I have him. So last year it was Javonte Williams, it was Chris Olave, it was George Pickens, it was Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft was in half of my leagues, which sucked when he got hurt. Thank God for Harold Fannin. That was the only tight end I was rostering to back him up a lot of those leagues. And luckily those guys all went off. But like my 5 or 6 guys that I really have a lot of shares of, those are the guys that I'm really rooting for. Other than that, it's just setting the best lineup every week. And on the drafts, I'm just trying to get the best ADP value I can. And that's why there's no players that are undraftable for me. Travion Henderson is probably that because his ADP. And I just don't see him falling to the 6th round where I'm comfortable taking him. But I'll take any player. I don't care. Like it's just about shares. And I write down my custom ADP from all my Fantrax leagues. And I know where they're going typically in the same format I'm playing. And then as I go, if I can get a guy later than I've seen him drafted after 12 drafts, good value to me. I know it's good value versus the board. And I'm going to be facing that same player 7 or 8 picks. Someone's going to take him 7 or 8 picks earlier. It's a good business plan. So that's kind of how I look at it. Let's see. We don't like a lot of these guys, man. Fuck. So we're going to take another receiver here. And then I don't like the tight ends. I can't take this tight end. We got to push tight end because we have the 2 quarterbacks. And then, man, Mekhi Lemon is 10 picks after ADP. I don't like him. I'm not going to play that game here. I'm going to take Cortland Sutton, who has 7.5 touchdowns. This is over-under. In Vegas right now, I would bet the under on that one, but he's set pretty high. And then we have to take a running back with the next pick, most likely, unless all of my dudes get sniped. Yeah, I would say so. And you know what actually ends up being the deciding factor, Brian, is my streaming defenses, because I stream pretty much exclusively defenses and kickers. And I will target 1 or 2 specifically. Last year, I had Jason Myers and the Seahawks defense in like half of my leagues because they weren't drafted. And I streamed them week 1, and I kept up. Jason Myers was like kicker 3, and Seattle was the number 2 fantasy defense, or number 1. I think it was Houston or them. I think the Broncos are up there as well. So, like, those are the guys I'm actually rooting for because I have them in over half my leagues, or whatever streaming defense I choose. I always just pick teams facing the Browns, and you know how it goes. Again, this year it's going to be teams facing the Dolphins. It's fun to, like, test yourself, right, against – let's take Rico here. Because it's like a weekly thing. It's almost like playing DFS with the weekly kickers and defenses. Nothing makes me happier and smile more than streaming a kicker and he has like 4 field goals and 2 extra points and he scores 16. Like, that is the or you're streaming a defense and they get a pick 6. Like, that's the good shit, man. That's what I absolutely love. Like, anyone can stream a fucking wide receiver, but love streaming defenses, dude. Pretty good strategy too, dude. It usually works out. Because outside of the top 3 defenses, also never draft a defense high. We're always wrong. Now, this year, I feel very good about the Texans defense, Broncos defense. Seattle, not so much. I think they're going to take a down tick because they lost some players. But, like, usually the top defenses, Baltimore's always drafted really high. The Bills are drafted really high. They're not that great. They're inconsistent. Don't ever spend a 10th round pick on a defense ever. I'll go in like the 14th if one of those teams I like, or I will draft a team that has a nice first 3-game schedule that I don't mind the defense. And last year for me, that was Seattle. I recall Seattle had the Niners last year, week 1. The Niners usually start slow on offense, like the first half of the first game, sometimes the first couple games. So I did that. And then the Myers thing, I think I picked him up week 2. And unfortunately, Jason Myers had an all-time shitter game in the semifinal. I think he had 2 extra points in that game. It was a shootout, but maybe it was 3 extra points. But they went for 2 a couple times. He missed his only field goal attempt. He had such a great year, and he shit the bed when I needed him most. But kickers usually don't kill you, like they're only for upside in my mind. A lot of people say not have kickers, and I like having kickers. I like it. We might break the record here. The longest stream we've done, I mean, this is 2 separate streams the same night, but back to back. The longest stream we did was 5 hours and 12 minutes. And we had another one that was 5 hours and 4 minutes. We're going to probably hit 5 hours here pretty shortly. We're at like 4:40. Gotta love it. Okay, we have 4 guys in the queue that we do like. We definitely are neglecting running back here a little bit. Josh Downs off the board. Kenneth Gainwell off the board. Okay. All my dudes are gone. They're all gone. Gross, man. I guess we can take one of these dudes. I need someone to fall back to me. There goes Ricky P off the board. And Sunday Thunder already has a tight end, so he should not be taking Kyle Pitts with Tyler Warren already, so we're going to get Kyle Pitts at decent value here. Team 12 strategy. That is Jefferson, Flowers, McMillan, Odunze, Reed, Johnston. No onesies yet. I don't hate it. I like a lot of the players he's taking. Odunze, Reed, and Johnston are really nice for a – that's 6 receivers already, though. So he needs to stop taking receivers right now. He's putting too much into the receiver position is my first take on that team. So this needs to be running back and quarterback, or tight end and running back, or tight end and quarterback. If this is a receiver, he just lost. This is too much at receiver. So if he takes a receiver in any of these next 2 picks, he's done. Okay, there goes Jared Goff. Nice pick. And this should probably be a tight end or another quarterback. Maybe he goes Kyler Murray here. No, he can't go Kyler Murray. They have the same bye. Rashad White. Okay. Kind of made it work a little bit. There goes Rashad White. We're going to get Matthew Golden here. So we have CeeDee Lamb, Neighbors, Christian Watson, Cortland Sutton, Matthew Golden. We are sitting with only Devin Achane and Rico Dowdle. We do have Kyle Pitts, and we have Josh Allen and Lamar. So tight end super solid. This is probably going to be a 2 tight end, 2 quarterback team. It's going to give me 14. It's going to give me 14 running backs and receivers. Probably going to be, let's see, I have 5 wide receivers. It's probably going to be 7 running back team. I think that's the way to make this work, or at least 6 at the very minimum if I hammer it in the next 2 rounds. If I go running back the next 2 picks, I can make it a 6 running back, 8 receiver team. But I got to dive into this now before it is too late. And there are still a couple running backs I don't hate. We'll see if they fall back. I need quarterbacks to start going. Quarterbacks and tight ends I need to get off the board now. Not running backs. There goes a running back and JCM. Don't like that. A lot of these teams already have 4 and 3 running backs, so they should be going to other positions, quarterback and tight end in particular. We need the onesies to go off for this team to really pull off, because we have Josh Allen and Lamar. We have Kyle Pitts. So Devonta Smith will not have St. Brown he will not have JSN numbers, because JSN's target share. And as much as they didn't pass the ball that much last year in Seattle, they're going to pass the ball more in Seattle than they will in Philadelphia. We broke this down a week ago. Devonta Smith has 1 year over 108 targets, and it was 133 targets. He had 100 receptions for 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns. So we were trying to figure out what is his target upside, and we think we said 140. It won't be in the 150 or 160 range. If he needs 130. Let's call it 130 targets. He's super efficient in this offense. It's a run for first offense. He can be the one. It's not just him either. Lemon's fine. Hollywood Brown's a field stretcher. I think Wicks is all right. And Goddard and Stower. So they're going to use him creatively. So I think if he gets 130 targets, he's going to smash his ADP. I think he's going to have 95 receptions, probably 1,200 yards and 7 or 8 touchdowns, which is fair for the guy going wide receiver 13 right now. I think his upside, I would say his range of targets, if he stays healthy, would be 115 to 120 on the low end, which is still enough to meet his ADP. I'd say his upside's about 145. I don't think he can crack 150. That would be 8 targets a game. That would be almost 9 targets a game. I think 8 targets a game is his max, which is 130 plus targets. So maybe that's probably the target max, 130, which is plenty for him. He's super efficient with those targets. Malik Willis is still available. Thunder. No, God damn you. Taking Tyrone Tracy, man. I don't like that. I don't like it. Let's take Shakir. Man, I don't like that. But I think I have something here that I can do. I can make this. It's going to be wild to only have 2 running backs after this point, but We like this guy a lot. And 8. All right. Who took Shaheed? Who took my Shaheeds? Man, I have to take a running back here. This is just super thin. Fuck. As much as I want to take Likely here. This just doesn't work. It's not a fucking tournament. I have to take. Damn it. To reach on Woody. This guy shouldn't take Woody Marks. Yeah, I'm all about Devonta Smith. I was taking so much of him before the AJ Brown trade. And someone takes Woody Marks. This guy takes 6 running backs, bro. Come on, man. I guess we're taking Pacheco. Fucking A, bro. Why? Well, this guy has this team. 6 running backs, 3 receivers. James Cook, Ashton Genty, Chuba Hubbard, J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey, and Woody Marks. Bro, why do you have 6 running backs and 3 receivers? Explain to me that. This guy, what? What is he doing? It's Jared Miniku. What the hell, man? Like, that's just a bad pick. Like, why? Stephon Diggs is his 3rd receiver. He has T. Higgins, Mike Evans, and Stephon Diggs. Like, 2 older receivers, one really old, one guy that doesn't stay healthy in T. Higgins, and one guy that doesn't have a team. Silly. I dig where Purdy's going. I have one of my future bets. I have 3 future bets right now. It's Brock Purdy, 20-1 to win MVP. That's a sprinkle. I love that over the Niners, 17-1 Super Bowl odds. And then I have Brock Bowers over 875 receiving yards. That's a really big bet. And I have a smaller bet, higher than the Purdy one, on Brian Thomas Jr. over 700 receiving yards. That's minus 110 too. So hit that now because the Brian Thomas hype train's about to start happening. And it'll probably be at 800 or 775 when the season starts. So it's not going to go down. 700 is really low for Brian Thomas. So I love the Brock Bowers one the most. I already put $100 in that. I might keep on upping that bet because that just seems like easy fucking money to me. Man, that guy. I mean, I shouldn't get that pissed because Woody Marks is terrible, but that was on, I think, DraftKings. If you're talking about Brock Bowers, I think they're both on FanDuel. They're both a little higher on DraftKings, I think. I placed them on FanDuel probably for a reason. I'm guessing it was the lowest. Again, Brock Bowers should be at, like, here's the fucking wild thing. Trey McBride's at 1,025. And I get he had a better year last year, but why is he 150 yards ahead of Brock Bowers? That just makes 0 sense. If that's the case, we should be drafting Trey McBride ahead of Brock Bowers, and I'm not doing that, and the community's not doing that. That has flipped since April, since the draft. So that's value right there, man. Oh, shit. I might have screwed the pooch on this one, guys. We do not have a lot of running backs right now. It is fucking rough. A-Chain, Dowdle, and Pacheco. Receivers are really good. Quarterbacks are the best, and tight end solid with Kyle Pitts, but it's not going to matter if I can't make this work. There's not even value here. So we're going to take, I think we're going to take one more wide receiver and call it a day. And there's nobody here I like. So, and there goes Trey Tucker. That was my boy. So fuck me, right? I guess we're going to take Zach Charbonnet, which makes no sense in a sit and go, but hope he's ready early in the season, I guess. Wild stuff. And then we're going to reach on a tight end with the next pick, I think. I'll just go with my guys, and we'll see how it works. And let's just take a little reachy, or can we wait? I'm going to take – I got to keep taking running backs that I think are going to score some points. We'll push off tight ends until later. This is going to have to be a 7 running back team. We have 5. A-Chain, Dowdle, Pacheco, Charbonnet, Sampson. It's actually not as bad as I thought when I look at it. But it's not ideal. That's what happens when you take Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. But at least we know we have the highest scoring quarterback pretty much every single week with those two. Yeah, I would never do that in a tournament style. But I will do this in a sit and go to get max quarterback points in a half PPR. That's, I guess, my thinking here. I would never do that in a tournament. It's just not going to win the whole thing. It could win this sit and go, though. Here goes Tajay Spears, and we still have some guys that we don't hate at running back. And then a few receivers that are going to be relevant. There goes Sadiq. There goes Hunter Henry. It's just the running backs, Jake, and that's the biggest worry. I like playing the running back backup game, the Pachecos, the Charbonnets, the Sampsons in a tournament style because those guys have inherent upside if there's an injury. I can't really wait around for that to happen. I'll fall too far behind. Rico Dowdle has to step up on this team, right? He has to be that RB2 for me, and I think early in the year he probably will. Not a lot of upside there. And then I think Pacheco will score his fair share of touchdowns. When I say fair share, like 6. It's because there's so many goal line carries there to go around in Detroit. This team needs Charbonnet to be back by week 5. If it's week 8, this team is not winning. I don't have enough. And someone takes TJ Hawkinson. That's who I was going to take. It's a random guy, too, which kind of hurts my soul. Damn it. There are guys to take later. I have Kyle Pitts. It's fine. Not that Kyle Pitts is anything special, but damn it. We're going to push off running back now. I need to take a receiver and a tight end. Ooh, tight end is getting extra gross right now. I need one of these guys. Kyle Pitts bye is week 11, which is fine. Oh, Arthur Smith is he's at Ohio State right now, Brian, which is funny. I don't know why they brought him on board. And the funny thing about Arthur Smith, if you don't know, Arthur Smith coaches as like a hobby, which it shows with what he does. Arthur Smith's family has like oil money or some shit. Like he has generational wealth. So, like, why is Arthur Smith on the grind of coaching when he has all this money? He could be Billy Madison, right? Instead, he wants to coach and mess up our fantasy teams and not play running backs over 50% of the shit. Not play Bijan Robinson. Great call, bro. Well, this guy isn't worthy of a big snap share. Arthur Smith, what an idiot. Tight end whisperer, Arthur Smith, though. He makes he's a tight end coach, I think, of Ohio State. Correct me if I'm wrong. Someone look that up for me. I know he's at Ohio State for sure. We're going to take Cade Otton. Okay, and then we're going to take I don't like any of these receivers. Are my receivers good enough? We have CeeDee Lamb, Neighbors, Christian Watson, Courtland Sutton, Matthew Golden, Khalil Shakir. Not bad. Not great. I will take any of these dudes. There goes Greg Dulcich. Someone took Kamara. God damn it. That would have been nice on this team. There goes Adonai Mitchell. I'm taking Nico over Rashee Rice every day. Is it a half PPR, Brian, or full PPR? Yeah, Nico's safe, man. Like, I'm not a 14-teamer again in a shallow league. I see the appeal, a 10-teamer. I see the appeal of taking Rashee Rice because he has higher upside than Nico Collins per game. We've downright seen it. But in a 14-teamer, man, you got to be more risk adverse for sure. Thank you, Fantasy Dog. Appreciate you, brother. Full PPR. Yeah, see, I do like Rice in a full PPR. Like, his value is higher than it would be in a half PPR. Nico goes down a little bit. I'm still taking Nico over Rice, especially in a 14-teamer. Now, you have a lot of time before the draft. If the reports are great about Rashee Rice, if we get confirmation he's not going to get suspended, which I don't think he will because he plays in the Chiefs and they don't like doing that, and the health is good, then I could consider going Rashee Rice over Nico in a full PPR because that's where the upside's at because we've seen it. He's a top 5 receiver, top 7 receiver in full PPR per game. The problem is he just never plays every game. So, and I think in like I said, in a smaller league, points per game matter more. In a deeper league, you want a guy that's out there. Yep, I feel that, bro. Well, Brian, I would love to have you join the community because I will literally, with most people, depending on time, the time you have your draft, because I do have 40 redrafts I do, and I do set aside some time, and if you give me your draft date, I could not sign up for a league. I will draft your team with you. Not for you. I'll phone call, Zoom call, whatever you want to do. I do this for people, and I will help you out, as well as you'll get my ranks as well. You'll get all the co-host ranks and a lot of other good stuff. So I will definitely lend a hand. That's what I do. So I would love to do that for you. Just give me some notice on the draft date, and I'll hook you up, man. So we are down to the nitty gritty here at running back. We need to take a running back and a receiver. I think we can take 6 running backs in this team. 2, 6, 7, 3 will be the build. So I have one running back I like, and we're just gonna reach on. Let's see. I need someone safe. Well, someone I think can bust out as well. Let's go this direction. And we're going to finish the squad off with Braylon Allen at running back. So not the greatest running back room. When you take 2 early quarterbacks, guys, it's going to be gross. A-Chain, Rico Dowdle, Pacheco, Charbonnet, Sampson, and Braylon Allen. Not bad. It's not that bad. I'm talking myself into this running back room. Definitely am. And then, let's see. Well, Surratt was one of the guys on my queue. He is gone, so we're going to go to our backup plan here. How long was the first stream? We're over 5 hours now, guys. I am hungry as shit. I am hungry. We did an hour and 57. We are at 5 hours and 5 minutes. Don't know if we're quite going to get to the record. The record's 5 hours and 12 minutes. Yeah, Brown. Oh, my God. Branch is interesting. Fuck, man. Someone takes my other player. We're going to take Torrey Horton. I want a Tyquan Thornton, and this has to be somebody in here. This is Jake. Of course, it's Jake taking Surratt, taking Mitchell, taking Tyquan Thornton. Yeah, we did a 2-hour stream with Nick O, undervalued offenses before this show, and then we started with 1 draft. We're on our 3rd draft now. We also had a lot of time just to shoot the shits. Appreciate it, Fancy Dog. And it's only June, guys. That's the wild thing. That is the wild thing. The wild thing. That is Charlie Sheen's character in Major League. Underrated movie, for sure. One of my favorite baseball movies. I like Sandlot a lot. Angels in the Outfield is actually a guilty pleasure movie for me that I watched a lot as a kid because I had it on VHS. Really good cast in Angels in the Outfield for sure. Yeah, Jake, we think alike, man. We are kindred spirits, brother. And that would make sense. You would probably have taken Horton ahead of him. This team is much better. Mouth likes this team better. All right. I don't know if I have it in me to do draft grades, guys. So I am wiped. This has been over 5 hours. I am also starving, and my dogs are really fucking making noise out there. And I don't want my wife to wake up and yell at me for, she's like, oh, you're doing an early stream tonight. And next thing you know, I'm on here till 2:30. She's not like that. She's super cool. But I also don't want her to wake up. She has to work in the morning. Is Benson cooked in Dynasty? Yeah, bro. Now, if Benson goes to the Packers and he's the only guy that goes there, he's not cooked. So I wouldn't drop Benson just yet because he's a former third-round pick. He was a second running back taken in that class behind Jonathan Brooks. It's not, but that was a bad class coming out, and it's been bad results, mostly injuries from both those guys. Not cooked, but if it's a deep league, I would hold on to him. If it's shallow, you can find better value, Brian. You can find better value. But I would hold on to him at least in the short term because he's getting cut or Connor's getting cut. I think it's Benson. I think they want Connor in the locker room there. Also, a nice little mentoring job there for Jeremiah Love. So I think Benson's out. I think they're out on Trey Benson. So he's going to go to a nice spot. Now, a great spot's the Packers, like I said. Another good spot would be the Cowboys. If he backed up Javonte Williams, I think he's got some juice there. Those are ideal landing spots. If he goes to a team like the Saints, Mouth says, I'd say so. If you throw a super, get a grade. I got you, Mouth. I got you, my dude. We love Mouth around here. Downtown Sports, guys. Please also join this community, but give Mouth a sub and a listen on YouTube or on Spotify. All those things. Downtown Sports, Mouth and Beast, where sports come home every single Tuesday night. Mouth, when's the next episode dropping, bro? Let's get to Mouth's team. It's right here. Mouth had the 4 spots. Let's read off the squad. Joe Burrow, Daniel Jones, and Geno Smith at quarterback. Ramondre Stevenson, Blake Corum, Aaron Jones, Chris Rodriguez, Sean Tucker, and Mike Washington. So waiting at running back, but you filled it out pretty nicely. Jamar Chase, A.J. Brown, Luther Burden, Josh Downs, Omar Cooper, and Deion Burks. With Trey McBride, Colson Loveland, and Kenyon Sadiq. I got you, Derek. You guys are awesome, man. We fucking love you. Derek, Mouth, pillars of the community. This one is better. 3-3 and tight end in the 1Ds. I'm, again, not the biggest fan of. Very nice value on Colson Loveland. Very good value on Trey McBride. Very good value on Kenyon Sadiq. You got all of them 2, 7, and 10 picks after ADP, respectively. So that's going to be your flex. Like Colson Loveland's your flex. So this works with this thinner running back room. Or not thinner. It's light at the top end with Stevenson, Corum, and Aaron Jones. And then Jamar Chase, A.J. Brown, Luther Burden, Josh Downs. A lot of flexibility there. Quarterback room is awesome with Geno. Geno gives you some nice early season security for Daniel Jones, Joe Burrow. I still don't love the build. I love the team. So, again, if you just go, you have to go 2 with one of these onesies, and I'd give this an A. I'm going to go solid B to B+ on this squad. Just the 3-3 is just tough to pull off. And I think you could have just gone without Kenyon Sadiq. I know the stacks don't matter in this sit and goes. That is my thing. Just because it's not a tournament style, we're just going for total points. So I just think this team's a little overstacked based on the format. And Kenyon Sadiq was unnecessary. I think the 3 quarterbacks is fine. I think Kenyon Sadiq is the unnecessary one. And that is why it's not an A team. But it is really close to an A team. I'll say that. I like this team more just because I don't mind flexing Loveland in a half PPR. I think he has 7 to 8 touchdown upside, which is, as much, if not more, than any receiver you're getting in that range. I just don't like the Sadiq pick. It does stack up, but I just much prefer – you shouldn't have half as many tight ends as you have wide receivers because you have to start 3 wide receivers. You only have to start 1 tight end. That's why it's not an A team for me. But if you had just done a couple things different, that's an A team. And like I said, I don't. The stacks don't matter for me. I'm not valuing stacks as much in a sit and go as much. Derek, I'll take a grade 2. I got you, Derek. Derek is – he is at the 8 spots. Let's see. Derek at the 8 spots. What do you have a grade for your team, Mouth? I know this is definitely better than the other one for sure. What do you think? Do you think it's a B+? Do you think it's an A-? Let's get to Derek's squad. Pick 8, Sunday Thunder with St. Brown at the starts. We have quarterback Trevor Lawrence, Kyler Murray, and Tua. This is a lovely quarterback room. I think it's an A, in my opinion, due to DJ and Geno being volatile. Yeah, I didn't have any problem with the 3 quarterbacks. I just, with those 2 elite tight ends, you're going to have a lot of tight end points in the bench, I guess, is my thing. And I just, Sadiq, with those 2 tight ends, that's my biggest thing. If you had just put that at wide receiver, man, then it is an A team. But what do I know? I know some things. I just think the sit and go, the stacking and sit and go is just not as important. Like, I almost think I just don't even do it. I'll do it if it falls to me. Derek, Trevor Lawrence, Kyler Murray, and Tua. This is a really good quarterback room. Trevor Lawrence, Kyler Murray, 5 picks after ADP. Tua, 3 picks after ADP. Running back room, Chase Brown, Travis Etienne, Bashal Tutin, Tyrone Tracy. You son of a bitch. You took Tyrone Tracy for me. It was a great pick. And Ray Davis. That's a nice 5 for some upside and maybe some garbage time stuff there. Chase Brown, Etienne, Tutin, Tracy. Well-built running back room. I love the Tua pick, too, because you have some question marks with Kyler Murray. Gives you some early season. It might take Kyler a couple weeks to get, to figure out the system like that. St. Brown, Terry McLaurin. God, you are just taking all in on Terry McLaurin. I dig it because, I'm the highest on Terry McLaurin ever. Chris Godwin, Michael Pittman, Trey Tucker, Ryan Flournoy, Calvin Ridley, and Antonio Williams with Tyler Warren, Isaiah Likely. This is a banger, bro. The build is an A. Like, this is a perfect build. With Warren, you just need a second tight end, and I Likely, and I like both these tight ends. The wide receiver room gets a little thin fast. St. Brown, Terry McLaurin, Godwin as the 3, Pittman at the 4. Those are going to be your floor plays. Trey Tucker's going to be on the field a hell of a lot. I love Flournoy, Calvin Ridley, and Antonio Williams. That's some nice insurance for Terry McLaurin. And if they don't bring in, even if they do bring in the clown there, I don't want to say his name, right? I'm losing it. Brandon Ayuk. Williams is going to be the slot guy there. So this, man, I like the depth. Like, I don't love Chris Godwin and Pittman as your 3 and 4, but Tucker, Flournoy, Ridley, and Williams kind of balance that out. I love the running back room, and the quarterback room's elite. And I think the 2 tight end build, Warren and Likely, especially early in the year, this team's going to smash, and that matters in a sit and go to get that nice lead. Warren without Alec Pierce potentially the first couple weeks, and Isaiah Likely without Neighbors. Wow. This is an A- to B+. I like this team a little better than Mouse. It's safer. This team is safer, and the build is better than Mouse. I think Mouse. I like the players on Mouse team a little better, but this is in the same range, man. This is. How far was Antonio Williams? Was 24 picks after ADP, and that's what I'm talking about, bro. That's a hell of a team, man. 318. Guys, we officially broke the record for the longest stream. Now, this is not just one video because we had the stream before this. It was a 10-minute gap for me to go to the bathroom and set up the next stream. This is officially the longest stream we just did. The longest one, the wild thing is, the longest one we had before this with Ray was right after the Super Bowl, was like in early March or late February. So the 2 longest streams we've had on the program of all time happened in the off season. That is what's up, guys. And this was essentially 3 hours, 18 solo. Me and Nico were on for 2 hours. So you can slot that down and check that out. I don't really know what it means, but not to get too dark with it, but going to Shawshank Redemption, you can write that Brooks was here. Hetzer was here. A lot of you guys, I think Hetzer, did you watch the entire 5 hours? Who watched the entire 5 hours? Who watched the entire Nico show? And then who's been on the stream? I know Hetzer, you've been I think you've been in the entire stream. Was he the only one? Hetzer, you get a fucking ribbon, dude. Who doesn't want to wear the ribbon? Yeah, Hetzer was here the whole time. See, that's the kind of stuff. I know it's slow going right now. Money isn't that great. That kind of stuff warms my fucking heart because you just hung out with me for over 5 hours. Me talking football in June and drafting as well. But that's impressive, man, and that just makes me feel good. Honestly, it makes me – I think I'm doing something right here to have all you guys hang out for this long with me in June. I'm going to emphasize in June, 2.5 months before the season. Means a lot. So pretty fun, dude. I appreciate everybody in here, all the Patreon members, all the people that just tuning in, liking the video, subscribing. All you guys, I appreciate all of you guys. Francis was a little late. I was making nachos at night. Well, you know what? He had me at nachos, bro. You're allowed to be late if you're making nachos or making love to your wife or any of those things. Like there's like 10 things I'll allow that I dig, and nachos and making love to your wife are two things that I will definitely get on board with. And I appreciate that. Just like I appreciate you, Francis. Francis, the newest, second newest Patreon guy, because we had Montana who joined as well. Appreciate all you guys, and I'll peep it later, guys. Also, yeah, anyone I didn't get to grades, and here we go. Mouth is just the goat of the channel. Congratulations to the longest professional Fanatic stream. Here's a $20 Howard. Nixon 5 said that live as the clock ran out at MSG. Watch party outside the Garden and Fanatics in 5. Go check out. You can actually watch this video live on his channel, on the YouTube channel. Anyone, if you guys could, after this stream, just do me a favor and do Mouth a favor and a solid for us, and just hop on over there, give him a subscribe. I'm going to look right now real quick. He just started his YouTube channel. He's on all the other platforms, and he's been on there for quite a while. And how many years for Downtown Sports, buddy? Let's see. I'm going to look right now. I got to look at this. 30 subs right now. I fully expect. I want 40. We want 40 in 10 minutes. We want 40. By the way, Montana, I'm going to send you the invite for the Discord when I get off here. I got to take a pee and let my doggies out. 6 years. So his show's been going on 1 year longer than this program. So I see 30 subs right now on Downtown. It's only been going for a month or so on YouTube. I expect it to be at 40. I would really appreciate that from everyone in here. And also just obviously sub and then give them a listen, and then you will be sold. It's a nice program. A nice little sister program, brother program, uncle program, whatever you want to say, to us, because they do a lot of other sports. It's not as fantasy driven, so it'll fill that itch for you in other ways. Also, different personalities, Mouth and Beast, as well as he has Ian Eagle on his program. He has Noah Eagle. He just had the announcer for the Clippers. He's having a guy for the World Cup, an expert there. So you're going to get a lot more, different takes and just different flavor, right? So if you're a sports fan that's not just NFL or fantasy football, you're going to get that from Mouse program. So I expect to see that up to 40 guys, at least 35. Do me that solid. I appreciate you. I appreciate Mouth. Thank you. You know what I'm going to do real quick? I'm going to play a clip, and also that equals a beer chug. Every single $20 holler gets a beer chug on this program. So I'm going to play a clip here real quick, and just bear with me, guys. I got to get a beer. All right, here I am. Got a beer chug for the $20 holla. Longest show. Let's end it right here with this. Derek says 2027 NBA champs, San Antonio Spurs. Here we go, guys. We'll time this one out. It's going to be really, really fast. Hey-o. Hey-o. Call that an eye-opener. Some people do coffee in the morning. We'll just chug beers at 2:34 a.m. Damn straight, man. And you know what? I would probably put the Spurs as favorites. I'm not putting the favorites as the Knicks. I think that was a magical season. We'll see if they can replicate that, but that was a magical season. It was a great season for the Spurs as well. Maybe the Thunder should be the favorites because they'll make a move. You know, they have a lot of assets, a lot of young players. But I guess we'll have to see. That's why the NBA, I know a lot of people hate the style of the NBA right now. But the parity in the NBA is rivaling the parity in the NFL, which has never been the case, right? It's always dynasties. It's always clusters of championships. We have not seen that in the NBA. We have not had a repeat winner. When's the last repeat winner in the NBA, guys? Do we know when the last repeat winner was? Because Golden State, I'm guessing. That was a long time ago. I mean, that was 2005. It was 10 years ago. So that's never been the case in the NBA. It's always, teams win at least 2 out of 3. And we can almost, I'm not saying take those away, but the Kevin Durant thing, Wemby needs some help. Wemby can get a lot better too, which is a scary thing. That is correct. Nobody does parity like the NFL, and that's mostly because quarterbacks get hurt and coaches change so much. And coaching matters so much in the NFL. NBA coaching doesn't mean shit. You know what I mean? So the coaching changes. It's like you lose your players and you lose your coordinators. That's why the teams that stay on the top are teams that have, their offensive coordinator is their head coach. That is the teams, like those are the teams that stick around for a while. Bill Belichick was kind of an outlier, but look at Kyle Shanahan. I think the Bears could be in that conversation. I think Liam Cohen could be in that conversation. Some of these teams that just have that stability, because if you keep on losing your offensive coordinator, it's tough on the quarterback, tough on the head coach to find the right guy. I mean, look what happened to the Eagles last year. Rough stuff. Hey, I kind of watched it when I was on the toilet, taking a deuce, but yeah, he's Dolan's got some issues, bro. 100%. And the salary cap's pretty. What's wild is baseball should have a lot more dynasties because there is no salary cap, and you think there'd just be crazy dynasties left and right, but there's not. And because baseball is such a random game, kind of like hockey. Hockey is just even more random because how the puck fucking bounces. But Hetzer, Rob, do you think the Rams have the best odds for winning the Super Bowl this year? Oh, they do have the best odds. And should they? Yes, they should. But their division's really tough. Defending champs with the Seahawks. And then, the Niners are gearing up. The Niners have a 2-year window here with this current squad. I know Brock Purdy's a pretty young quarterback under contract, but Christian McCaffrey is not long for this job. They're defensive players. Trent Williams is like on his last legs. So, yeah, the Rams should be favorites. I mean, they were one play away from going to the Super Bowl last year, and they would have blown out. I mean, everyone would have blown out the Patriots. So that was, yeah, Rams are favorites. Like they have the fact that if they didn't even like reinforce this defense, like think of all the levels they reinforced this defense. McDuffie, and then like they got both corners, and then they go out and get Myles Garrett. I mean, that's unreal. They would have been favorites without any of those moves in my mind, or at least top 3 favorites. And any one of those moves individually puts them to favorites. And they made multiple of them. They addressed their weaknesses, and that is a thing. Now, Matt Stafford, old. They didn't really address the offensive line too much. If they don't have Matt Stafford, if he gets hurt, they're done. That's the thing about the NFL. The quarterback position is so weighted over any other sport. So you can lose a pitcher in baseball. You can lose your center in hockey. In the NBA, if you lose your superstar, you're not winning. There's only 5 guys on the court. But if you lose your quarterback, it's rough. And they're a Matt Stafford injury away, just like every team is a quarterback injury away. We've only seen backups. There's a couple teams I think are backup proof, or they could win without their starting quarterback. It's rare stuff, though. Derek, that is my pick, brother. I have the Cowboys, although I do think that the Eagles are going to have an offensive bounce back. I think they have a letdown on defense a little bit. And we got to see what Mr. Hurts has without A.J. Brown and without, an all-time level defense and an all-time level offensive line. So I am digging the Cowboys. I think their defense is much improved. And, their defensive line. Why I like the Cowboys, I'm going to give you this real quick. Cowboys proved last year they can stop the run. And they can make teams one-dimensional, but last year it didn't matter because their secondary was such trash. This year, their secondary is much better. They're going to be a top 10 team against the run. Their defense is going to be middle of the road. Doesn't seem like a ringing endorsement, but look at Joe Burrow, what's happened there. They've always had a bottom 5 defense. Look what's happened with Dak Prescott. They usually have a bottom 5 defense. If Joe Burrow or Dak Prescott get a top 15 defense, or even the 15th best defense in the league, they're an elite team. I mean, their offense puts so much pressure on teams. So that's what I expect. Cowboys, as long as they're top 20, top 18, they're making the playoffs. I don't know about winning the division. They're making the playoffs. If they have a top 12 defense, which probably isn't going to happen, they're definitely winning the division. Cowboys, Texans. The Texans they're scary, bro. They're scary. Guys, I got a dip. We are almost at 5.5 hours. 5 hours and 40 minutes. You count the 10-minute break I took. Hell of a night. Hell of a stream. Hold on a second. Let me check this. Downtown Sports. We are still at 30 subscribers. Guys, Downtown Sports, go give them a sub on YouTube after this. Please do that for me. We much appreciated. Tomorrow night, we got to see. Nice call. Brian says, good morning, sleep well. We'll see what the schedule is like tomorrow. I know Chaz is supposed to come on. We'll see. One of these days, I need to take a day off and hang out with the wife, but I'm also having a great time just hanging out with you guys. So we'll do something. And again, I'll post everything in the Discord. And anyone I didn't get to, post your team in the Discord. If I don't get to it tonight, I will drop a grade on that tomorrow morning. Montana, I'm going to give you an invite when I get off here. Everyone else, appreciate you guys sticking around so late with me or so early with me. Long ass night, awesome ass stream. You guys are awesome. Again, appreciate every single person in here. Especially appreciate all of the Patreons and especially the fanatics. You guys are awesome, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Love your life. Stay positive and respect each other. I'm out of here.
You just seem like a good dude. I thought I'd see if you want to grab a beer, that's all. I'm glad you called. We get home safe, Pistol.
You got it, Jobin.
I'm sorry, what? Nothing. Oh, what'd you say?
I don't know. You nicknamed me Pistol, and I just called you Jobin. It means nothing. I'm drunk. I'm gonna call a cab.